Okay, so maybe my very interesting right now as for like the giant massive Indian cross in like the middle of nowhere, like and so I think that would be like the precise actual shot of like the grave of like sort of that's from like the different parts of being a person during Russian and for like the great quantity of the rubble surrounding that giant massive Indian cross and so I think it might have been due to like it actually being like a building in like the long distance farm especially my particular plan. Within that building, might a fight might have totally taken place between like the team of like Chloro, a young Chloro and his like best friend versus like these villains who might have been like firm believers of like the ideologies of the galactic macro and it's that villain and his henchmen on the other side. It's like might have been like the scenario certainly was of director. So like that villain back then like Loro and his like the friend as well might have been like not at all strong at all. So like what might have happened might have been that those villains might have like at that fight progress of the progress like those villains might have totally taken the life of Clovis. That's friend. It's definitely my person to render. So that was like that might have been such an absolute extreme shock to like Flora and was suffering like the dying wish of like that best friend of Flora might have been precisely to like wipe out and eradicate everyone who believes because like Flora's best friend might have like totally felt at that moment at this like dying moment that like all like those villains like basically those people like acting so villainous especially because of the ideology those villains firmly believed in, which would be like the idea exact same ideology of that of like the galactic matter. So like a lot of best friends like dying wish might have been to like basically eradicate and wipe out everyone in like the world who follows this like exact ideology of that of like the galactic matter. So like a lot of best friend might have made that dying wish and might also invite and right then, like Clara might have been so extremely enraged, and like what might have then happened might have been like that whole emotional situation state that Clara was in, and that extreme fury that at that point was having his like best friend dying due to like this due to basically these people, these villains people, and their ideologies. Like so, at that point, I was the only thing Flora might have been so extremely embraced, and like Flora might have gotten at that point like a major net power upgrade. At that point, it's definitely not the civilian best. So, like with that power upgrade, Flora might have fought back against these villains and took the life of all these villains. And was putting in that whole extreme intensity of like that power of like Flora's attack about differing that entire building might have came down and crumbled and turned into rubble. Definitely my only great impression. So like Floro alone survived at that day and was differing Floro's that front was like buried with like all those rubbles on top of him. So like at that point I was differing there might have been like some sort of a wooden thing in that nearby. So like I'm different chloro using it like a newly superiorly game then power might have broken up that might have been some sort of a wooden structure, like massive wooden structure. So like nearby. So that fluoro might have totally an extremely emotional fluoro extremely sad at like the loss of his like best friend like might have totally broken up that massive wooden structure and might have used it in power might have turned it into like a massive wooden straw and might have placed it on top of that those bubbles were like a lot of that fun was like buried. This might have been like the scenario that might have happened. Is definitely my person theory and non person prediction right now. So that definitely my person theory and prediction as for like South Africa breaking like tough Indian conditions of like that she made the tough countertest to like I think like to like maybe maintain like constantly maintain like her peace of mind or something and basically this South Africa definitely since like South Africa having like broken that contract multiple Indian contract multiple times, especially precisely when Corrupt to work in life and after stealing like the car with ice as well. Like Corrupt multiple times like having like broken that contract and causing Corrupt ice as well to like only bleed. And participating definitely Corrupt ice like the precise Kurapika ice would definitely might have definitely gotten like some sort of a permanent damage. It's definitely my personal impression. And I'm referring to about this one to be like the positive that basically Kurapika's eyes will be like permanently blurred. That's like one positive that I'm referring. And the other positive is basically Kurapika's eyesight would be like slowly like reducing more and more, and basically Kurapika would be like going fully blind. And this would be one thing that Kurapika would be well and fully aware of. It's definitely my business career. Hence why Kurapika, things like the reason for Kurapika being like so extremely disturbed after breaking her Scarlet Line and contract. It's definitely my business career. Yet, like, I think that's the person Kurapika being so relaxed and Kurapika even revealing her and revealing her like the like strategy, unique strategy that she used to like get to like the strength of like the random group and for her to even be able to like offer and defeat to work it. Like basically that being like the end contract and for Afghan to even reveal such an extremely dangerous power upgrade strategy to like go to her best friends like Gon, Killua and Gloria. And but the brain totally has to do with like Kurapika being like absolutely relaxed that basically also, like, definitely my personal impressions that, like, ever since Kurapika broke her Scarlet Eye contract for like the first time, and that's like Kurapika from that point to like Kurapika even recently like breaking like the Scarlet Eye contract again, like basically Kurapika had that constant disturbed state of mind and my personal impression as for like all of a sudden like in like the person Kurapika totally being once again turning peaceful. It totally has to do with like Kurapika totally naively actually believing that this is the final truth are actually that like the majority of like I think 5 members I think like of like the final truth bodies that precisely like the final truth has fake like dead bodies. It's definitely not taking to remember. And especially since, like one of them was like the body of Chrollo as well. But the only thing maybe by now like the details about like the final truth, more details about like the final truth might have leaked. And so Kurapika right now might have even figured out that they believe Chrollo is in fact like the leader of like the final truth. So sort of maybe like so like that way my getting to impressions and like that way in like the present for Africa might be well and fully aware that Floro is in fact like the leader of like the kind of open. Since like for Africa would be namely believing that like Floro is along with like 5 members, which would be like the majority of the total members of like the kind of group, I think being like that. Like for Africa would be totally mentally at peace because like I'm referring for Africa as for Africa the remaining like the leader as well as like the majority of like, the kind of members that like basically taking out or capturing like the remaining few fan members will be like not a piece of cake for Africa. Would be along the lines Kurapika would be thinking. So like definitely not those interviews. So like especially because of that like I'm separating that whole mental relaxation like Kurapika might have like so actually told her like net conditions strategy to like extremely risky and dangerous net condition strategy to like launch and like the others. It's definitely my personal impression because like Kurapika might be totally relaxed at knowing that like majority of like the final book has been brought down because like as for Kurapika like no like being so adamant about like not revealing her non power upgrade and conditional power upgrade strategy to like Gon and the others will be precisely because like Kurapika might have actually feared that it isn't like the threat of like the fan that throws it like right there at numbers for Afika method only thought like she had revealed her and then conditional strategy to like gone Europeans or India like they would straight away use that then conditional strategy. But right now I'm going to think like the fandom group that majority of like for Afika believing like the majority of the fandom group members that and basically especially since like Afika would be well and fully aware of like basically since like Afika totally knows that basically gone ultimate goal is like to basically find God's father. And in the case of Killua, like since like Killua is now freed from like the Rolling family, Killua has like absolutely no goal at all. And in the case of Leori as well, since like so Rapture totally view currently totally viewing like so like the majority of the final tools that like Kurapika would be the way Kurapika would be totally viewing Gon, Killua and Leori would be as people who would in like the future have like any desperate need as like Kurapika had like for that extreme power and hence like them most likely not setting up like extremely risky net conditions or anything. So this might have been like what Kurapika might have felt and hence why Kurapika might have been okay with like might have felt okay with like revealing her then conditional risky and dangerous then power upgrade strategy to like go into and like develop just definitely my personal impression. Just to hear the special motivation for Kurapika and revealing that strategy to Folksam. It's definitely my personal impression. So I'm considering like real zone for Kurapika to like probably find out about like most likely it being totally on the news that basically like the process of like the Phantom Group were like fake. And at that point, I'm only trying for Rapika like seriously regret her decision of like basically revealing it revealing her net power upgrade, skin and power upgrade conditional strategy to like go on and others because like right now because at that point Rapika would be like totally genuinely fully aware that basically right now definitely with like gone and the others like knowing having like, the knowledge of this like exchange dangerous and conditional power upgrade like it is able to basically use it to like help Sorapika out in like attempt to like bring down the fan effect. So this would be one thing that considering Sorapika would be genuinely be aware of at that moment and at that point so certain that Sorapika would be extremely regretting her decision of revealing her non-conditional power base to go and the 70 percent and consider only pertaining. So like definitely like experience mentioning is that like right now that for Africa along with that Ron Kilo and Leo all of them will be together in like hotel definitely that my percentage impression. So like I'm considering like friends on like for Kilo are most likely to like casually just turn on the TV and they play like that straight away it will be like playing like the news but you playing like the news and like in the news it will be straight away like the breaking news that basically like the profits of like the Panasonic are fake. The second scenario that I'm referring to like that being like the biggest shock for like for Africa along with others that's gone and the second scenario that I'm looking for again right then I'm looking for Africa totally uh, straight away straight away I'm going to bring Africa either like they straight away telling Gon Skidua and all of them to like don't follow me or like don't even think about helping me out and don't ever use like the then conditional strategy or anything ever in their life and don't ever try to like help me and basically Korapia straight away trying to like walk out of that service. To especially once again Korapia heading off to like find like the panic. It will be like one possibility by herself like that like one possibility that I'm looking for. And the second possibility is basically Korapia on seeing the news being so shocked and without even saying a word like Korapia being totally shocked and frozen on finding out that the process of it when they can basically put up here without even saying a word, trying to like make it a step out of like that process of all by herself and to set off to find like the kind of so like regardless of these two possibilities, I'm definitely prepping for like gone most likely standing in like the front of like the door and not allowing for Africa to leave the room. Just like the scenario that I'm going to put on. Personally, preparing for going to like precisely tell for Africa that no, we will definitely help you and like I'm considering like for Africa telling Bond to move aside that she needs to go and basically I'm considering like all of them doing their absolute best to like stop for Africa. So while the sports struggle will be happening, I'm participating most likely Kilua coming, most likely maybe coming up with like the idea, or most likely and I'm participating Kilua shortly telling them that basically so since like Kurapika was important for so extremely superior and strong to even be able to like take the life of one of like the final member through precisely these like non-conditional strategy precisely the precise reason for like all these final group members being so exceptionally overpowered would be also because like all each and every single one of them as well would be having like precise and conditions as well, exactly like for Africa. So like precisely all we have to do to like for us to be able to like defeat these final group members would be precisely to like figure out what the name conditions of each of like the final group member are and to like do our best to like make them break that in condition. That would be like the key to like for us to be able to like defeat the kind of group without without like doing any end condition, making any end condition without using like the end conditional strategy on our own. So like that is like along like the strategy that I'm totally putting out of that Akilu and I'm also putting straight away Gon as well totally agreeing and Gon as well like telling Kurapika that basically we won't be using we won't be using any non-conditional strategy at all. We'll be like totally sticking to like the strategy of Kilua to like precisely and that way we will together like defeat like the fan bros. This is like the scenario that I'm also about and also like I'm also putting once like the news about like the final process of being break like at that point still I'm also putting most likely for Africa probably going through like an extremely emotionally disturbed state where like I'm preparing for Africa totally warning like gone and the others that basically that for Africa herself and it will be only at that point that I'm preparing for Africa herself most likely even revealing to like gone and the others that she herself had broken like the her non-contract conditional non-contract twice and about like the currently like the issue most which would be most likely a permanent issue that's like going on with like Kurapika's eyes and causing it to like bleed and everything. So you must never you must never have my faith and you must never use like the conditional net strategy. You'll be like at that point Kurapika will be telling Gonai the others. So like I'm also bring before so precisely because of that like I'm also bring eventually like therefore most likely for there to be a quarrel to between Gon and the others to like to totally stop Kurapika from setting up all by herself again to like stop like the final project. And I'm also preparing that quarrel to totally end with like this precise conclusive idea that like they would all be like together taking up which would be precisely to like for like Gon and the others to like not use like the then conditional strategy like Kurapika but instead focus on like breaking like the net conditions of each of like the banner group member to basically take them down. So this is like the strategy like that I'm personally totally putting out of them and basically but then I was preparing for like Kurapika finally agree and basically Kurapika gone this time like announced Kurapika there will be like gone Kindu and you were like all of them together like setting up together to like firstly find and bring down like the Phantom Troop for finally for once and for good. Just like the scenario that I'm personally totally preparing. Also, like my personal impression as for like how exactly Kurapika will be finding out about like the news about like the of like the Phantom Troop being fake. Like it would be either through the TV or undoubtedly it would be through like Hisoka totally secretly and stealthily once again calling Kurapika and making that ultimate reveal to that Kurapika that is the those bodies, those corpse bodies were all fake. And is the that way like Kurapika like finds realizing the truth. It's like that is going to be like either one of these two possibilities definitely never to be angles. So also like definitely since my Boston impression is so like definitely even after like Kurapika revealing about like the extremely dangerous and screen and conditional strategy power of wave like I'm also only putting like reason for like Killua gone and you're totally agreeing to like Kurapika that they will never like use such a extremely dangerous like men conditional strategy to increase their strength ever in their life like check the scenario like I'm considering them totally making from that as like a promise to Kurapika, especially in the Hungarian version. But still, I'm considering in like the maybe in like the distant future, I'm definitely protecting for Sindhu precisely to be and I'm considering like it will be only the Oreo alone that would be like the only person that will be sticking to that promise and I'm considering like the distant future definitely for Killua to like break that promise to Kurapika and basically Killua stealthily and secretly like making an end condition explained it in the term then condition is solely for bond like solely so that like Killua could be of help to bond to achieve Bond's goal of like finding King. It's definitely finding on father King. Definitely my double brain is so eventually I'm definitely protecting for Killua definitely to precisely make an extremely risky and extremely dangerous an end condition that would be even more risky and dangerous than even for Africa's end condition. It's like the scenario that I'm totally putting out of that Killua in a distant future. And I'm also putting as for John, I'm also putting like the precise point where I'm also totally putting for going to like make a risky like non conditional power upgrade. I'm also putting strategy. I'm also putting that to be precisely towards like the very end of it. So when I'm also putting for going to be fighting off against like the final boss villain of like the show. It will be at that right before that fight that I'm supporting. Born most likely secretly as well, like most likely making an end condition as well, possibly, and that way using that power upgrade to for Born to be able to like or and defeat like that final boss villain. It's also like a possibility that I'm just really putting in for like the rest of the future. Definitely my impression. Okay, so like definitely my impressions right now as for like floor of that this very night like basically planning on leaving like your city with like the remaining loot and but like but as for like the remaining loot floor might be either referring to like the referring to like the final group not being able to like collect all of the excess loot that were about to be that were put up for like the auction in like the second underground option is like 1% that I'm looking for. Maybe my personal theory is that like there might have been like far too many greater quantities of like rare items that were put up for like the second underground option when compared to like the first underground option. So like I'm considering even with like Shizuku, I think her name is like that first phantom group member with like the vacuum and then powered plant like basically vacuum cleaner manpower thing. Like basically, even with that, like they might have not been able to like collect all of like, the items. That's like one possibility that I'm looking. So like they are going to like most they might be planning on like heading back to like the second underground option. Place to collect like the remaining items as well, which they might have hidden somewhere in like the second underground option location. That's like one possibility that I'm looking, or like the other possibility that I'm looking is basically the second underground option would be also taking place like this night as well. It's definitely when looking to understand, especially because like Chloro had maintained that as you stealth within like the option second underground option building, which was like the sole reason for like the and with like the fake cough and everything like basically that was that like so like being part of like Chloro's strategy so that like the second underground option would be like fully going on to even more than a single day. So like I'm considering it would be like the first items that will be put up for like the option and especially since that Laura has kind of like use that as the stealth of basically using that precise uh, the phantom group member who can copy items, copy objects to like copy all the rare objects like especially they approach like they are all losing in such a way that absolute extreme stealth and those different things. Maybe like Loro might be planning on like the auction would be going on for like the next day, second day as well. It's like in like the second round auction building. So like Loro along with his, like Phantom Group members might be planning on once again stealth this time with like the absolute stealth like to infiltrate once again into like the second round auction building and once again to use that with the Phantom Group member and copy all the rare items being put up for like the auction in like the second day of like second round auction and basically for them. So then that would be like the remaining of like the entirety of like the items for like the total item that would be put up for like the second and third option. It's definitely members into but it might only be just a 2 day option. It's definitely members into so these items would be like the second day rare items would be like the final set of items for like for the Chloro to do to have to do to be able to like fully and fully succeed in like completing their mission. It's definitely the other possibility that I'm supporting like and as for like the third possibility that I'm supporting it would be like maybe that night might be when like this is like more of a remote state of like a possibility of like maybe this very night being like the night of like where like the main option would be beginning. So like maybe Cloro along with his like mandatory group might be planning on like stealthily infiltrating into like even like the main option building and basically looting all the items from like the main option as well in like one fell swoop. That's like the third and like remote of switch of possibility that I'm considering. I'm leaning more towards like the possibility that basically even after like even after like one day, one whole day has passed, I'm considering maybe like the maybe like the cops might have not been able to like still figure out that basically the all the cops were of like the final group of like the 5 members of like the final group that they found were like fake and also they might have not been also like the people who collected like the items from like the second underground option including even Kurapika who is like someone who handles net and lot like still even Kurapika who also stole most likely might have definitely stolen like the fake starlet item and still even after a whole day has passed like even Kurapika as well like not being along with others like not being able to like tell that basically all the option items that they basically bought are basically fake items even after one whole day has passed. So this might be like the precise reason for like maybe like the second underground option going on for like one more day like with like everyone believing that basically like the phantom group has like 5 members of like the phantom group including like the leaders have died and basically have actually died and also like the auction is like perfectly going on well and everything like it's like the other possibility that I'm considered only perfect. So basically I'm leaning more towards like the possibility that basically like the second underground option will be like proceeding even to like the second day in that very same second and round option building. And was protecting like Chloros and like the final goal would be to like precisely steal all the items in like the from like the copy and steal all the with like the absolute self of them to the copy and steal all the loot all the items in, put up for like the second day of like the second round option and like escape and leave that very night from like the open city might be like the plan of that Chrollo. And the final product was definitely currently in definitely my consideration. But like as for the scenario and consider different especially since like and as for like scenario I'm considering still like even to the second day I'm considering like the cops still not being able to like, right now I'm considering like the cops still not being able to like figure out that basically the corpses of like the kind of the are fake. So like I'm considering especially because like such they won't be figuring out and hence such news won't be spreading. But certainly all those conditions certainly being satisfied to and that way like the second underground option even proceeding to like the and happening even to like the second day as well. Check the scenario that I'm considering. But like I'm considering before like second underground option would be taking place. I'm precisely protecting for Kurapika, at least precisely because like Kurapika, the Scarlet Eye are like the eyes of like the Kurta clan to which like Kurapika belongs to and basically have so much emotion towards and basically so it has and have so much passion and emotion towards like Ampersand or different because of all the sort of like at least Kurapika Ampersand or different to be able to like figure out that like the Scarlet Eyes that he has stored are actually fake. Basically, that's like, and Kurapika would be figuring this out before like the second underground option, second underground option would be beginning. It's like the scenario that I'm looking for. So like at that point, like Kurapika would be straight away having her extreme suspicion might have instantly being formed, getting formed in like Kurapika's mind, and then I'm considering Kurapika somehow maybe like maybe even infiltrating into like the precise location where like the bodies of like the five corpses of like the kind of group might be like stored and I'm liberating Kurapika secretly infiltrating there and also happening before like the second round of the new will be taking place. So like Kurapika secretly infiltrating there and Kurapika totally inspecting like the corpses and on closer inspection like basically Kurapika totally figuring out that basically like those corpses are fake. So like at that point like Kurapika might get like what's totally going on that basically with that extreme absolute stealth, Phantom Pro like creating such a fake situation so that like solely so that like the second and round option would be like uh, fully being would like run like the second round so that like the second and round option will be properly taken place and so that like they would be able and Kurapika would be totally figuring out that at that point would be able to conclude that they really like the final with the absolute stealth are basically creating copies of like the original items put up for like the second underground auction and are stealing like all the items from like the second underground auction as well. That absolute extreme skill. So like at that point I was super Kurapika realizing not realizing to something super Kurapika only deciding that since like from and I'm preparing for Kurapika would be totally saying that basically like this would be her last chance because like even I'm preparing Kurapika would be by then like well I'm fully aware that the second underground option would be only like a 2 day option. So like I'm preparing Kurapika and there would Kurapika would be well aware that other than the main option there wouldn't be any other underground option at all after like the second underground option would also be a thing like would be like the actual reality and Kurapika might be even aware of that. It's also definitely never to remember. So like at that point like after gaining all this knowledge like Kurapika would be only seeing the second day second underground option as her last chance for her to be able to like capture and bring down the phantom group. So like I was preparing it would be precisely once like the Thailand group would be like stealthily showing up to like the second underground option building during night time to like supposedly loot and get away to supposedly copy and loot and that way loot and get away from like the open city. Even before that I'm preparing it to be precisely when they would be like the final group would be like infiltrating into like the absolute self spent into like the second underground option building would be when I'm precisely prepping Kurapika would be precisely patiently with the absolute stealth as well. Kurapika most likely along with like Bond, Kilo and Leo as well. They are the natural would be like totally figuring out by then. So those are like the scenario that I'm looking for. Because I'm prepping most likely like while Kurapika would be like shockingly finding out that Scarlet that she had stole up fake like I'm prepping there would be definitely Gon, Kilo, and Leorio would be like beside would be just happening to be beside Kurapika at that point. So like seeing Kurapika stop, like it would be just eventually like without much delay, like Gon and the others would be like figuring out that the truth about like the kind of thing still be alive. So like exactly like how when the kind of would be like that itself would be infiltrating into like the second underground option building was developing like Sorapika along with like Gon, Leorian can do electorally as well patiently with the crystals would be patiently lying away to like precisely bring down like the final purpose especially my person to impression and then still protects definitely for like Gon right now definitely protecting definitely even after realizing openly Sorapika and all of them realizing that the final group are still alive like I'm not totally protecting still neither Leorio nor Killua nor Gon totally like at all using like the gimmick or like the strategy of like the non-conditional risky extremely risky and dangerous like non-conditional power play strategy to basically for them to like help for up out and I'm debating instead like I'm still thinking to my person that it would be either maybe gone or like Killua, one of them would be like probably coming up with the idea to like to fight against like the final drop in such a way so that like they will be able to so that like to precisely fight a fan each final group member with the precise intent to like find out what's like the precise end conditions that they would have placed on themselves would be like in order for them to get so strong so that like by like figuring it by being able to like predict or like figuring it out and basically forcing like the final group members by taking on like the final group members to like break those conditions like and that way like upon breaking the contract like the final group members will be getting affected and by the breakage of contract on their health and on the physical and mental health. So like they at that point for like one and to even with their weaker strength, like for them to be able to like take advantage of create such a situation and then take advantage of such a situation to like capture or bring down like each of the kind of group member. But the strategy like don't feel and the or only teaming up with like for Africa and basically taking on like the fandom trust group. It's like the scenario that I'm preparing and definitely I'm preparing precisely this would be like the moment finally when like Hisoka would be like making it official like his like revealing his like ultimate betrayal to like the fandom group like that he is like the traitor like basically that would be revealed precisely in this very night when like the fandom group would be like secretly infiltrating into like the second underground option building and precisely most likely participating Hisoka to do that precisely when like Kurapika along with like Gon and Killua will be like launching their attack on like the final group. It's definitely my personal theory on Russia. So like I'm sticking to my personal theory on Russia for like a Hisoka versus like a chlorophyte and participating most likely it would be like still sticking to my personal theory on Russia that maybe like initially it would be like a Kurapika versus chlorophyte in which like Chloro would be totally offering Kurapika and then maybe so also like technically my question to for instance that like even in like Chloros like recent fight against like the team of like Zeno and Silva like my question to it that was solely because like Chloros the only intent and goal was to like precisely steal like Zeno's like unique nen ability might have definitely been like the sole reason for like my question to that like Chloro might have definitely gone like extremely easy on like the team of like Silva and Zeno so actually might have been like going down on his like actual true strength. So solely because like his priority was to like steal the notes like then abilities that maybe the figure so like so my procedure is that like lot of true strength and true power would be like far greater and but certainly because of that I'm also something like eventually like in like the second other round option building once like eventually once like Kurapika would be only fighting Chloro and Kurapika definitely would be fighting off against Chloro bus they only protect Chloro to like eventually only overpower and defeat Kurapika. Precisely Chloro taking about to take the life of Kurapika would be precisely most likely when Hisoka would be stepping in and like revealing that he's like a traitor and basically then about the protecting Hisoka as well like at only maybe as Hisoka would be fighting off against Chloro like Kurapika would be like either refusing to like basically since like Kurapika would be well I'm fully aware that basically Koro like the leader of like the final project so Kurapika won't be at all willing to like basically just give up and let Hisoka like get her revenge. So like I'm also bring both Kurapika well as Hisoka finally coming maybe even having a slight quarrel between them, and they believe both of them coming to like have no other choice to like take on like Chrollo together. And so like I'm also bringing to be like a combined strength of both Hisoka as well as Kurapika that would be even uh would be actually what would be needed to like be for them to be able to like offer and defeat Chrollo. And even with Chrollo defeated, like only like the remaining final four members alone would be like the ones that would be getting captured, while Chrollo would definitely be escaping still, even after being defeated. It's like the scenario that I'm talking about and representing the impression that I'm thinking also. Yeah, so that definitely my person to the impression right now for like that the child that like literally running after like grab the cassette and delivering that child might have definitely been like a child Chrollo. So Chrollo back when he was just a child, like definitely my person to the impression. So like I'm talking even Nobunaga, especially since like Nobunaga basically seems like Nobunaga knows Chrollo a lot, even way back from childhood. I'm just only putting like that precise barren wasteland like location where like that precise childhood was depressing Chloro basically running after like that like I'm considering Chloro's like childhood might have been like from like an extremely poor background back when like and back then I'm considering precisely like Nobunaga might have been definitely Nobunaga Wogan Chloro and like a Clorox best friend who had died back then. Like this much might have been like the initial only like the initial friends of Cloro in like the very beginnings back then. They were all from that actually from that similar situation and like down certainly my like the beginning certainly my person to mention for so like definitely my person to mention for like them to like get a cassette like I'm also bring and it is being like you feel for them even having like a cassette like particularly totally and solely have to do with like precisely the galactic matron and particularly the galactic matron might have this habit of like might galactic matron might have done this thing back back when she was alive where like she might like visit like go up to like this barren wasteland like location where like people will be totally even struggling for food to survive and like they're like the galactic matron might show up and basically like offer like tickets and like people their food free foods as well as like uh this cassette as well might have been precisely given to like the child or most likely by the precisely given to like the kids that were like Chloro Wogan as well as like Nobunaga might have lived by precisely certainly the galactic macron, certainly Madhun Remember, it might have all been like galactic macrons, like effort to like they really spread galactic macrons like ideology, like to good and in like the process to also spread good ideologies of like the galactic macron as well all across like the world. Like the galactic macron might have been doing this, definitely might have been doing this. So like also by offering food like a galactic macron might have precisely taught the child Chloro over again and Nobunaga and Chloro's friend, all of them about like the ideologies of like the galactic macron and everything. It's definitely my goes into memory. So like I'm also talking even so like after like taking the life of like the galactic macron like basically Chloro over again as well as Nobunaga. It might have been back then. It might have been just the three of them. They might have Chloro might have came up with like the plan or like strategy to in order for them to like accomplish like the nine birds and promise to like their best friend like basically they would Floromita came up with like the idea to like create this group known as the Phantom. We will create this new group by the name Phantom Group and let's like recruit like let's get strong and like let's get recruit like strong fighters into our group and basically like that way like let's eventually like basically take like eradicate everyone who follows this ideology of like the galactic map from all over the world. Just wipe out like the ideology of like the galactic map from over the world. Might have been what along the line that Chrollo and Logan and Obinaga might have decided back then, especially if I was into England. So like they might have it like them being in like the wastelands and them maybe like such like a lot of free time like they might have only struggled and precisely trained hard to like get stronger and they might have accidentally discovered net without any like master of teacher to like train them like they might have Flora might have accidentally discovered men and it might have been Flora that might have been like the teacher of like at that point of like Nobunaga as well as like Wogan. And it might have been Chrollo that might have taught men to like Nobunaga and Wogan. And together they might have gotten strong. And then was supporting so like definitely want to remember like back when like Nathan might have used to like basically visit like the wastelands where like Chloro, Wogan and Nobunaga was and all the remaining children were like basically like their only ultimate goal and desire would be only for food like basically they had food to eat for like each and every single day they might have been absolutely happy with that. Especially back then they might have been so strange for that basically when struggling in life that basically survival would be might have been like the ultimate priority. It's definitely my personal impression. But like eventually as like the group of Floro, Wogan and Nobunaga might have turned themselves into like the group of like and called them like the group of like the band of groups and everything and as so like so the positive and the super thing is that basically like there might be like like villain that might have been like related to like the galactic matter who might have totally like the galactic matter like basically offering all this help and support to like all these like abandoned people in like that this like wasteland like area. So like I was super this villain might have totally added like poison to like all the maybe to all the food that basically the galactic matter was like delivering the last time that the Galactic Matter might have showed up to like that such baseline like location. So like especially the Galactic Matter like not being aware at all like all the stories containing in the script. So like I'm also different what might have happened might have been like firstly Floro Nobunaga and Yogan might have like just stepped outside of like the baseline like area when like essentially the Galactic Matter might have showed up and the glitch might have delivered her like poison of food to like basically to all the people in like that wasteland like area. And I was think what might have happened might have been like obviously all those people in like that wasteland like area who were like totally struggling with hunger might have like greedily ate all that food like and I'm totally predicting like what might have happened might have been like precisely uh, by the time that Floro, Login and Nobunaga might have returned to like that wasteland like area like what they might have seen would be like all these people like basically like a lot of them dead, lying dead on like the wasteland area, and like a lot of them like screaming with like pain, excruciating pain from like the poison. So like I'm just suffering like that shockingly, Floro might have totally frantically for his like best friend, and who might have totally found his like best friend as well, like totally struggling and through that going through like such extreme pain from like the poison from like the and at that point, was totally bringing like the friends of Nobunaga as he was like dying basically and going through struggling through pain like and so something like Floro totally looking around it to looking around for like the galactic matron. So like she was nowhere to be found and this is like even from far away distance from like the wasteland that the first wasteland like home of like Floro and all of them like there was even be any doctors or anyone at all. So like especially uh, if they might have not at all been able to like save like a lot of stuff from along with like all the other people who might have died due to that poison. It's like the scenario that I'm referring to. Like I'm referring Floro might have like talking them sadly along with like Logan and with the snow like I might have watched that friend that was like going through that extreme pain and slowly dying. So like I'm referring him basically going through that extreme pain and basically as he was about to die, like as he was on like the very verge of death, like I'm delivering that that friend of like Flora might have totally told the role of that basically he believes that basically all these ideologies that like the Galactic Marathon sort of and basically all the gifts and all the gifts that the Galactic Marathon gave us all the like gifts and that and were all just absolutely fake like the Galactic Marathon is like such a villain's character and he just wanted to get rid of all of us like basically might have been like the precise reason and like basically and so like the dying friend of like Flora might have only thought so that basically it's like the ideology of like the galactic macron is like poisonous like the poisonous food that she gave up and basically like Flora dying friend might have says to like last wish to like to Chrollo to basically to ensure to like that basically the like poisonous ideology gets like wiped eradicated and wiped out of that entire world. It's definitely my personal theory impression that might have been like got like the time words of like lot of fun. Definitely my personal theory was like that. So like my personal theory impression is that like it might have been on that very day that basically Chloro might have built this like giant wooden cross and basically might have like put a statue and everything and basically might have then decided to like form this to totally stick to and to like follow like the word to keep the promise that he had made to like basically his time front that basically that he will in fact that achieve like the wish the dying wish of his like the front and basically to eradicate and wipe out like everyone with like the ideology as like the galactic matter starting with like taking the life of like the galactic matter and like that day itself, like Chrollo along with like Logan and Nobunaga might have created called themselves heroes of like the Phantom Group. And basically then my positive impressions then they might have like totally found like the galactic matter man might have totally like assassinated like the galactic matter. It's like it might have been what might have happened. So like the numbers separating like Chloro basically like eventually like in Floro, eventually decided that they would need to recruit more people into like certain temperature in order to like achieve like certain different like dishes and be able for them to be able to like get them by both like the I don't just like the galaxy map that throughout like the example so like I'm different uh in order to take the life of all the people who like from the videos in like the ideologies of like the galactic matter but that like basically Floro might not already uh, might have previously trained like if you be trained along with like Logan as well as like Nobunaga and like at some point like they might have actually achieved even 10 powers and basically Floro might have actually achieved like 10 powers even without having like a master or anything. So Floro might have taught them to like Logan as well as like Nobunaga and then those different things. Uh, then eventually basically my go to the impression that like they might have probably then like the total thing like the fan group might have slowly gained more members and they might have been like initially focusing on like the life of like the people with like the ideologies of that of like the galactic matter from when I think all of a sudden like one day this chip shot might have totally got of intrigued by like the strength and like the villainous of like fan group that like this villainous villains like man that might have totally hire like the kind of group and might have he might have totally offered a lot of money to like to precisely to work for him and basically steal all the like rare items from all these auctions and all this place like to loot all the rare items from like the Kotak land and everything might have been precisely under like the orders of like the mysterious person, villainous person given to like the kind of so was departing like initially chloro basically that because like my interior system that like even though until that chloro had this like mindset to like basically to prioritize give the number one priority to like achieving like the goal of like the promise so it's like buying from them thing but like this like then the captain might have offered now that money to like chloro for working for him and do things and working for him so like I'm putting at that point like seeing all that he's trying those quantity of money like all of like mine might have changed and so Chrollo might have like told to Wogan and Nobunaga that basically we will like definitely work towards like achieving like keeping the promise to our then best friend but like we would need also need a lot of money to like do that and a similar manner like basically Chloro along with like Wogan and Nobunaga might have slowly start working for like the villains that might have hired them and like they might have from that point on might have like gathered more members and like the kind of group might have gotten even more stronger and like they might have started to like loot and take the life of all those people who didn't have anything to do with like the ideologies of patriotic matter at all. So like then basically taking the life of all those people and looting like repeatedly looting and like basically giving all the loot of waste items to this like a villains capital that hire that and basically in exchange for like so much of money and basically about the cutting eventually Chrollo might have only gotten sidelines from his like from prioritizing his like front yeah, that was friends like ideology and that was friends like Richard and then the thing. It might be exactly because of that reason that basically eventually Chrollo might have even started Chrollo eventually might have totally forgotten like the actual true reason as to like why he even started like the and the group like as to like it seems especially to like give like the promise to his like that the friend and Chrollo might have only eventually forgotten about that and Chloro by through that Chloro getting a lot of money like usually by the precise villain that have like the kind of group to like look make all this voting like and just bring with all the money that gained in such a manner like Chloro mindset might have only changed and like we then slowly even after like eventually as like even Phantom Group members were started like dying due to like during like the port looting missions like slowly as like Phantom Group members started like some of them started dying like even then like Chloro might have totally not even bothered to like get revenge or anything for them at all and might have straight away replaced them with like by recruiting more Vanisher members members into strong fighters into like the Phantom Group and basically usually forgotten about like the ones that had about like Swallow's counterparts and precisely with it will be precisely in such a manner that and liberating even after Hogan who might have been like the friend of Chrollo even way back from like the baseline way back from day one like Hogan who might have been totally the a good friend of like Chrollo as well as like Nobunaga from even back when they were only children back in like the baseline like locations like still even in like the present even at that very same Hogan died like basically Chrollo even like actually being that not even caring about it at all and basically still focused on basically just looting all the items and like delivering it to like that villain that might have hired like the Phantom Group and basically that way to that Floro being only focused on like getting that's all that money would be precisely like all this like all the years all the course of the years like this thing change that might have happened to Floro it's definitely might have been very interesting. So like definitely my cognitive ambitions that like this change of Chrollo might be precisely what like Nobunaga might be falling out right now in next the present. This definitely my cognitive ambition because of like Chrollo like not even caring about like even Uyogen stuff like I'm considering like previously like all the Phantom Group members that might have died might have not been like Phantom Group members that might have actually like been childhood friends of Chrollo, especially if it's like it might have only been like just other than Chrollo's best friend that might have died in like the distant past. Like other than that, it might have only been like Nobunaga and Wogan that might have been with Chrollo from day one. So like even with like Wogan as well, basically dying and Chrollo still not like even remotely caring at all about like one step. Like precisely this might have been what triggered like Nobunaga finally to like basically question Chrollo and expose Chrollo is definitely my welcome very important. Yes, so like maybe the very question right now. I saw like the first question that Laura will be asking or that I'm just referring to you. Most likely is that the private that question that basically Laura will be asking Nobunaga that like do you want like the promise we made to that our protectors from like the distant past? Do you want like that promise to be fulfilled, or do you just want to like get revenge for like to go with and like take the life of like, the same user and that way like disrupt like our entire plan especially by destroying our stealth and that way like having like the option like basically not taking place and basically option being like second under run option second day option like probably being cancelled and that way like them not being able to like late all day like I'm going to strategy that Flora would be like using to like to get people like both Nobunaga as well as work into like so to feel like among like the top strongest like members of like the kind of group. So also definitely members of the investment. So like I'm going to bring like in order to basically get them to get to exactly what Flora wants. I'm also bring this will be like the promise like this whole topic of like this promise that no Flora made to just like that the from like the distant past who might have also been like totally obviously childhood friends of like Nobunaga as well as Hogan as well. This was something that Floro in that person would be like totally using like Floro might have totally fast and strayed away from like the wanting to like to fulfill like promise he made to his that was from way distant back in like the past. When like Floro might have started might have got hired by like that precise villain and that once like that precise villain might have started offering rewarding like Floro with like all this huge quantity of money that basically for looting all the rare items. Like since then, I'm considering Chloro might have totally like Chloro's like priority might have totally shifted instantly from like wanting to like basically keep the promise to his like third best friend to like basically wanting to just make a lot of money and live the lavish life. This is since like Chloro even came from like an extremely poor background, like I'm just referring on seeing like a lot of money, Chloro might have like totally fallen for like the whole money and concept, and basically it might have like that might have been like the only priority for like Chloro for not only in like the present, but it might have been so for like a long time. Well, it's certainly not going to be so like, but still Chloro might that way in which like Chloro might be precisely might have manipulated Nobunaga as well as Uzogen. All these parties might have been precisely Chloro telling them that basically in order to achieve for us to like achieve a promise to keep our promise to our dead best friend from the system. In order for them to achieve that promise, like we would need a lot of money. So like in order to like wipe out like the entire of like the people who blindly follows like the ideology of that of like the galactic matter, we need a lot of money to like be able to like achieve that. So like in order to make that lot great quantity of money, we must do all this like we must make a lot in order to make all that great quantity of money that we must do all this like looting jobs and everything. We must like totally do that. So like I'm perfectly but even when like previously as well, like since it's been revealed that Phantom Troop members have died, like two Phantom Troop members have even died. And I think Silva has taken like one of its Phantom Troop members like in like the past, especially in my person. So like I'm the since like most likely Zeno would be Zeno and Silva would be always like working together, and those like the other Phantom Troop member as well that might have died in like the past might have been precisely like that might have died precisely by the combined attack of like Zeno as well as like Silva from like the distant past. It's definitely my person to remember. Yet like even then while Chloro even recently faced off against like Zeno as well as Silva, and basically Chloro like even like not even like even like the remote stick of thought of like wanting to get revenge on like Zeno and Silva, most like is for like them having taken like the life of Sousa and the program like in the distant past, like so that thought's not even crossing like Floro's mind at all. Like this only due to like Floro not even caring about it at all. Like more Floro would be like an absolute selfish character who might have totally strayed far away from his like actual goals of like even being behind him even creating like the final group, and basically we might be like even like my personal impression that that would be the best reason for Cloro even by fighting off against like Zeno and Silva totally and solely focused on like stealing Zeno's like and then ability. It's definitely my personal impression that would be solely of Cloro to get stronger so that like that increases strength for a lot. Things would be even more easier for Cloro to like make to complete like more since and load more items and in that way make more money, especially my looking to and not even like after like seeing like Zeno and Silva again like basically Cloro, not even wanting to like get revenge on them. That would be precisely because of this reason, it's definitely my looking to impression. So like definitely my particular impressions and like even in like the recent past when like Silva and like this view of that Silva and like Zeno might have taken the life of two Phantom Programmers. Even then like I'm also bring especially like Nobunaga and Wogan might have only questioned like Chrollo and might have totally wanted Chrollo to basically give the order to like Phantom Programmers to like basically find and get revenge on like the Zoldyck family, those two Zoldyck family either on like the entirety of the Gordy family or those to protect the Gordy family members like the Silva as well as Venom to take their life and get revenge for taking the life of two fan improvement members like. But even then like precisely how Zoro might have totally manipulated both Nobunaga as well as Iwoken might have been precisely by using this very same dialogue like Zoro might have totally questioned them again like exactly like how Zoro might be like about to question Nobunaga again as to like what is their priority like? Is their priority like wanting to achieve like the promise they made to their childhood uh, friend of the Chloro and all of them, or like by eradicating like the ideology of like the galactic man from all across like the world, or like is their priority like the current like whole anger towards like the to his old family members. So like that way, like a Chloro might have totally manipulate, kept on manipulating like the Wogan and Nobunaga all these years, like past years, is definitely my personal terrible. So like I'm suffering even right now in like the person Chloro doing trying to attempt like the same thing and trying to like manipulate Nobunaga. but I'm still fretting for Nobunaga definitely to this time finally Nobunaga not falling for manipulation of Chrollo and considering Nobunaga still being defiant and basically telling straight away talking face to face to Chrollo and telling Chrollo that basically I'm definitely going to take a revenge on by taking the life of Mr. Genius of that would be along the lines Nobunaga would be telling Chrollo and I'm considering Nobunaga to at that point straight away leave the Panda Group base to as head off to the university to find and take the life of the chain user and that way Nobunaga alone totally disobeying the fan of process. It's like the scenario that I was looking at that point I was putting that many crore of maybe giving the order to Hisoka to most likely take the life of Nobunaga. It's like the scenario that I'm going to predict. And most likely Hisoka definitely taking the life of Nobunaga, around the scenario that I'm predicting. Or Chrollo himself stealthily following Nobunaga and basically even before Nobunaga would be even make be able to make it to the university Chrollo stealthily taking the life of Nobunaga. That's the other possibility that I'm probably project. Because if Nobunaga even searches for the chain user and that way basically that way Nobunaga even creates any sort of chaos basically the possibility of second underground option be cancelled as would be a serious possibility would be along the lines for on getting in that way them not being able to get their hands on the auction items for the second underground option they're not being able to load it and that way therefore reward money would be cutting it down in half since they would only be have currently processing the looted items only from the first day of second round option, especially when considering. So totally to avoid such a scenario, I'm just totally putting Loro. So casually just basically taking the life of Nobunaga as well. Nobunaga his child as well the scenario that I'm just totally putting in the okay, so definitely by purposely impressions that by feeding the positive power of neon, basically prophecy that Flora might have returned due to fulfilling the prophecy of Nobunaga. And it might be precisely that Nobunaga would definitely die. That very might uh, would be certainly my personal impression. So so the genuine attempt to not prevent Nobunaga from dying, but the claw of only highest priority would be to stop Nobunaga so that basically the second underground option will be taking place and so that he could do it all right from second underground option. So still even though Flora would be able to casually take Nobunaga's life and prevent such a scenario from happening, still that would greatly reduce the strength of the Phantom Troop as a group. So I'm going to bring Flora might want to rather avoid such doing such things or to do such a thing and this may be the reason for Flora precisely writing giving this prediction poem to precisely Nobunaga and to precisely say that Nobunaga would be dying that very night. So that way to in that way Flora would be totally expecting and that would be a true prediction also. Definitely my impression. It would be a fake prediction that Flora might have returned to slightly stop Nobunaga from looking for the change. So it also definitely my impression. It would be a genuine prediction point that Flora might have returned for Nobunaga. It's definitely my personal impression. And my personal impression is that even though Nobunaga initially would be scared at finding out through that poem that really Nobunaga would be dying that day. That poem would contain the poem would be written in such a manner that basically it would certainly contain hints as to basically if hints of a warning that basically if Nobunaga even attempts something even if Nobunaga even looks for the change of Nobunaga would die that night along such lines it would be a warning thing in that poem would be the content that would be written by Chrollo. Definitely my personal American, but still about the thing Nobunaga so initially, after going through the poem, Nobunaga initially would be getting scared, and Nobunaga initially would be deciding not to explore the things of still and personally totally protecting eventually Nobunaga still simply can't contain this extreme disturbance disturbed mind that basically Nobunaga would be having probably due to having lost his such a friend to work in solely due to the changes or that basically that disturbed mind of Nobunaga was totally totally getting the best of Nobunaga with Nobunaga eventually the night basically possibly maybe like setting off by himself even before like the final group would be making their move that maybe Nobunaga simply can't contain his like disturbed mind and basically so like Nobunaga would be deciding to like totally risk it all and basically even like the contents of like the poem and basically Nobunaga straight away heading out of like the final group base all by himself early itself all by himself to like precise intent to like precisely capture and take the life of like the chain user. And then about the protecting like the precise contents of like the poem that Chrollo had written precisely ending up being through that prediction that Nobunaga would die that day if Nobunaga even attempts to like look for like the chain user that prediction being precisely through by Nobunaga not dying by the hands of the chain user but like by Nobunaga precisely dying by the hands of Chrollo is definitely my personal favorite. So like even before that Nobunaga would be setting off and would be even able to like make it to like the city and those different things. Flora would definitely after like Nobunaga even expressing even like a bit to a certain extent even opposing and strongly opposing and standing against even like the leader or about the different Flora from this point on would be having like a sharp eye on like Nobunaga. So like I'm just precisely when like Nobunaga would be like no that he's stealthily trying to like leave like the phantom truth early to seek revenge on like the changes and separately Chloro would be like at that point would be like straight away noticing and basically Chloro and those different like the absolute stealth like taking the life of like Nobunaga just like the scenarios that I'm personally going to bring and my secondary impression then sitting on. Okay, so like being able to get impression right now is that like in like Chloro's like future production point like basically like precisely the board should be precisely Nobunaga and like Floro right now would be like financially aware of it is also the new person to him and like persistence like it also says like crouching the bull crouching behind beside like the tablet type. Certainly, they also definitely predicting like broadcast flowers and covers to be totally blown that basically that she has like the carnetized back that critical information would be totally instantly through the precise exact poem would be precisely would be revealed to Flora would be coming to that conclusion that basically that Sorapika is like a member of like one of the few survivors of like the Kota clans. Maybe one of like the few survivors or like the sole survivor of like the Kota clan. So like certainly, and through that, like the final, through that part of like the poem, and also wrote everything, not just Flora, but like the entire chapter, and through totally finally realizing after that why exactly Gorafika had even attacked and took the life of Logan all by herself. Basically, like this might be like which because like she was getting revenge, like the sole survivor of sexual attack. This information would be like finally would be like fully understood by like all of the uh, would be finally reduced to like that way through to like all of the final product members like including Laura. It's definitely the scenario that I'm also developing and my person theory and practice. So like definitely my person theory and practice right now is for like scenario that I'm already developing is like once like the second day second round option will be taking place at that very night that I'm developing. So basically like final stealthily with like that stealth like successfully infiltrating once again to like second round option building and basically would be also like successfully like proceeding with the for copying like the rare item rare option item process like they would be doing that process with like one copy kind of remember and all that so like while they would be like doing this process and separating while all the remaining kind of group members like will be having like that focus on like basically all the swapping of and everything like I'm considering like specifically like Nobunaga alone would be like still having that respect feeling with him and within him and Nobunaga would be like totally would be like totally looking out for it like to see it like among like the crowd in like the audience like there like would be steadily looking towards like the crowd of like among like the audience in like the second round option like among the crowd that would be participating in like the second round option to see if like Kurapika is even and the chain user is even present there. So definitely we're taking to the impression where like among like the few number of people that will be participating in like the second and third round option like Nobunaga would be carefully looking for Africa. Nobunaga won't be able to like find for Africa. So like at that point I'm also separating while the whole copying process of like the fandom growth would be happening like I'm also separating Nobunaga alone like simply not being unable to like, get over just like the self feeling of like not being able to like get a revenge on for Wogan for like the changes are taking Wogan's life. I'm also putting like with that emotions taking control of like Nobunaga. I'm also putting Nobunaga like totally slipping out and slipping out of like where all the other remaining final group members would be, and also putting Nobunaga secretly suffering throughout like the second underground option building for Kurapika. So like I'm also putting during that specific time like Kurapika would be like present somewhere in like the second underground option building and would be like secretly spying on like the through which like Kurapika would be like secretly spy on like the entirety of like the second underground option building an underground option auditorium like place where like the second underground options second day option would be taking place, especially by looking to the so like and I'm different precisely for Kurapika to even get there, to even do such a thing like Kurapika, even before that would be definitely figuring out that like the scarlet item that she stole was like definitely a fake. And then Kurapika even figuring out that like the dead bodies of like the phantom were also fake. And then so Kurapika precisely seeing this as like the second effect in the round option as a last chance to like finally capture and bring down like the phantom group one jump on them. So like I'm bring Kurapika would be stealthily like would be with like that, and Kurapika would be like totally also well and fully aware that basically just like the professionals and everyone have gone like just like them thinking that they have like brought down like the phantom group that just Kurapika all by herself, and but they not different like there will be definitely the like Kurapika won't be able to like stop like from Gon and Kilo and Leora from helping Kurapika out. So like I'm also putting Kurapika would be basically on one side like Kurapika would be secretly spying into like the and looking into like the carefully like observing like the auditorium auction auditorium uh, to see if like any kind of group members are like anywhere around, and I'm also not different while Kurapika would be doing this like Gon and Killua and Leora would be like flying and looking from other direction and use like the options for Doraemon as well, like scenario that I'm considering. So like I'm considering while this would be happening, like Nobunaga would be like secretly slipping out of like the option building and searching, slipping out of like the option auditorium and will be searching around like the option building for Africa would be precisely all of a sudden finding precisely for Africa like and Kurapika won't be noticing just like Phantom remember like having noticed the Kurapika like the scenario that I was covering. So like I was covering that would be the protest part about like the wolf crouching beside like the bloody scarlet eyes was definitely method into impression. So they interpreting like for Nobunaga to like stealthily like approach stealthily try to like approach Kurapika from behind and basically Nobunaga would be like activating his like nen power and will be about to like stealthily take Kurapika's leg. But like at that very last second, as like Kurapika would be totally unaware and as like basically as Nobunaga from behind will be about to take Kurapika's leg. That very last second, I'm preparing for Gon to like precisely spot Nobunaga. Precisely exactly at that point, and Gon precisely attacking Nobunaga. It's like the scenario that I'm preparing, and that way Gon saving Kurapika like the scenario that I'm considering, and that attack of John would be creating like maybe like a bit of like a destructive effect, and basically that would be also might be creating a loud noise and everything. So like then I'm considering like the Gon versus Nobunaga fight like take place, and like from the entire noise like basically the entire day of like the um crowd of people like that would be participating like then the second number round option would be like totally confused and it would be a total chaos at that point, especially not the century impression when I'm protecting like especially it would be during then that I'm personally totally protecting like Sorapia most likely finding like the remaining final group members like precisely as they would not have been completed like therefore copying of like the auction items like precisely Sorapia right then also finding like them and basically right then was protecting like for uh going to be totally fighting off against like Nobunaga, and in that fight I was totally protecting like Nobunaga definitely most likely dying by the hands of like Gon, like Gon totally taking the life of Nobunaga, like the scenario where I was protecting Kurapika most likely along with like Hisoka fighting off against like Koro. While like the remaining fan group members like I'm also protecting like Killua will be fighting against like the remaining fan group members and I'm preferring like the exact return of like Zeno as well as Silva for like the second underground of it. And it will be precisely and solely due to like both the thing like after even after like the tendon dying like both the brain most likely Friday might get in contact with like the Gothic family and might that way get in contact with like as well as like um, so Nostrada might get in contact with like Zeno as well as Silva, and might give them like the whole mission to like basically bring down like the Phantom Prix. It's definitely might he might like reveal to the Phantom Prix that like the thoughts of fate and the reason for Nostrada being able to like Nostrada even knowing that would is precisely because like at the moment Kurapika would be figuring out like the topic the Phantom Prix of fate like Kurapika was the ring of like recording Nostrada and telling Nostrada how like the final proof was still alive. So like at that point, I was bringing Australia like totally recording like the uh, first two professionals like basically Silva and Zeno and basically giving them like the task and the mission in exchange for like if you would reward like giving them the mission to like especially bring down the Phantom Proof. It's like the scenario that I'm also cutting. So like that way and even then like Silva as well as Zeno might have not left like the Orphan City at all. So like they will be like instantly coming back to like the second round option betting. So like I'm considering they have to like have this whole fight happening there like with like the team of like Zeno, Silva, and Silva, Gon, Porapika, Diorio, and Hisoka as well, turning against like betraying like the fan of group and fighting against like Chloro. It's like the entire scenario that I'm looking at delivering, and in that fight I'm looking at delivering since like solely because like Chloro's like whole priority at that point would be to like precisely ensure that they are able to like loot and successfully loot like all of like the items in like the second and round option and successfully in the second day of the weekend down the road also and but they are able to like get away escape with the looted items like solely because that would be like the highest priority of Chloro and considering even while during the fight like Chloro only giving like the orders to like the remaining bandit group members to basically since like there will be excess bandit group members when compared to even like the team of like Gon and Kurapika and considering Chloro only giving them the order to complete that the whole core team and basically to for them to like escape with like the escape after looting all the items like so I'm considering precisely because of this like whole splitting up only because like the entire like, the fandom group won't be able to like fight off against like the team of like Gon and Kurapika as like a single fandom group whole team and instead they would have to like prioritize like successfully looting the items like this being like the whole situation that like the fandom group which would be like causing like the fandom group five members of like the fandom group especially coinciding with like the poem of Chrollo like the poem of Chrollo like five members of like the fandom group ending up perfectly being captured it's like the scenario that I'm both differing and among those five I'm both differing either Nobunaga would be among those five or like Nobunaga would be like most likely among those five, like one of them would be Nobunaga, and definitely protect most likely wants to like take the life of Nobunaga, but like the remaining four kind of members like captured, ending up captured by like the Chloro as well as like the other four fandom group members. Among that, most likely there will be a total of 10 fandom group members. So like Chrollo as well as like four other fandom group members like finally succeeding in like escaping, but we're only protecting them to like not succeeding like escaping with like them not succeeding in like looting the items like from like the second say or second round of then it's like the eventual final scenario that I'm looking at them being forced to like prioritize just their escape eventually in order for them to like survive was like the scenario that I'm looking at. So like that way like the mission of like the final group being successful and with like five members of like the final group like captured and basically the remaining five members of the final group including all like basically being forced to like escape without being able to like loot all the items in like the second number round of like the initial final scenario that I'm looking at. Okay, so like hindi na doesn't get impression as for like the Riodan members of like the kind of group. First of all, Riodan might be like the precise plane that base place like that wasteland like place was like precisely the Chloro and Chloro was born Chloro as well as his like childhood friends who are like certainly even like the youth five fan group members from like Riodan who might have been totally childhood friends of Chloro who might have been like part of like the fandom group when like the fandom group during like the fandom groups like inception when it the fandom group itself was like created like these Riodan members might have been present is definitely my personal theory and version. There might be like initially there might have been like a total of six Riodan members, like counting Wogan as well, who definitely my personal theory and version. But like Wogan stats, like the count might have fallen down to like five. That's definitely my personal theory and version. And my personal theory and version is also that like it might be like the Riodan members of like the final that might have obviously might have been like present in like the final group for like the longest and like the Riodan members might be like the final group members that might have even the only final group members that might have even had like the precise involvement as well during like the whole Kurta clan elimination incident as the Scarlet Eye elimination, like all that incident as well. That's definitely my personal reimbursement. So I'm personally protecting like so like definitely a percentage impression that like the currently the five Riodan members of like Phantom Group, including most likely Chrollo as well, would be like the top five strongest members of like the Phantom Group. It's also definitely a percentage impression. Okay, so like definitely my percentage impression right now is that like, even the Chloro bit only the only thing that is like absolutely brilliant that he can like this is like Chloro brilliant like Chloro like about to like through his own property and future fortune like while Chloro would be totally thinking in such a manner like I'm just totally putting his own post like this sitting right there and hearing all this prediction of like Chloro would be in his mind would be like totally laughing to himself like he's already totally laughing at Chloro. It's definitely my personal impression because only because like Chloro even like analyzing the production and doing everything by Chloro having like absolutely no idea as to like the connection between like the chain user and Dawn and Killua. And hence like situations like Dawn and Killua has been brought to like the base of like the pineapple definitely the Chloro would be making it like ultimate master plan to like actually loot and return back that day and hide in like the base of like the pineapple until it's like next week so that like at that point they would be like absolutely, like they would have proved like the whole promotion of like Chrollo. Like basically, even with Chloro would be thinking that like Chloro would be making all this like saying doing all the thing while has having absolutely no idea as to like the bond between like the chain user and Gon and Killua. This would be the precursor for like Hisoka totally like would be like laughing in his mind and laughing at following his mind is really my person to remember. So like I'm just putting like as for Hisoka, I'm just putting either Hisoka to like in order to, I thought Hisoka would be totally fully confident in like the promotion ending up being pro. So like Hisoka absolutely deciding to like not do anything at all. It's like one possibility that I'm considering. The second possibility that I'm considering is like Hisoka. And if that's the case, then I'm considering it to be most likely like the whole act of like basically the fan group infiltrating into the place underground second underground option and basically like looting all the items from like the second underground option and they will be doing that with like that good disguise and like the perfect stealth. But like my personal theory impressions are like most likely it would be like precisely Nobunaga alone like while like all the final group members would be returning like still Nobunaga might stealthily slip away that this very night and basically Nobunaga would simply wouldn't be able to like contain to like to grab like a revenge on like the genius of that Nobunaga alone would be like searching throughout like the second underground option building looking for Kurapika and that way like I'm looking totally protecting Nobunaga would be totally spotted especially by one of them like either Bond Killua or Leorio or like Kurapika and that way like totally I'm totally protecting um, so like my person variations are like maybe for like the second round option, like precisely Nostrada might show up to like the second round option bidding to participate in that option. So like precisely because of that I'm considering maybe for like at that point for Africa to like basically be present in like the second round option building as like Nostrada like bodyguard. So like maybe it might be then that is precisely like the final group, while all the remaining of it, final group members with their absolute extreme stealth might have still succeeded in like still not getting found out and certainly copying and looting all the items from like the even like the second day of like second round option and even like separately the final group members might not realize that basically even as they would be escaping like it would be only at a later point that they would be even realizing that like Nobunaga is not the self. So like but the only Nobunaga would be like totally slipping away in between and basically could be something all throughout like the second or third round option building and looking for like the changes up. And I'm also looking for like Nobunaga even finding like eventually even finding like the changes up. in like the second half of the Western building, and basically that will be precisely how like the promotion in of like Chrollo usually becomes through with like preferring like Nobunaga finding Kurapika somewhere, and basically in like the second half around Western building, and Nobunaga precisely stealthily trying to like crouch and basically make it towards like Kurapika would be to like stealthily try to like take Kurapika's life and that way get revenge. But like especially Nobunaga would be able to take able to attack Kurapika that very last second able to running for going like so just fought Nobunaga. And then there only thing at that point for like a Gon versus Nobunaga fight most likely. So like at that point I was not only thing was like Gon stopping Nobunaga from taking Kurapika's life. Like basically Kurapika at that point would be like shockingly turning back and realizing that like a fan improvement was like right there. So like at that point Kurapika would be realizing that like the corpses were like alive, and basically at that point I was not only putting that Kurapika most likely attacking Nobunaga, and Sorapika totally most likely offering and defeating Nobunaga, and that way Nobunaga getting captured. It's like the scenario that ends with only perfect, and those liberating like maybe like then for Nobunaga to be interrogated, and like those liberating like unlike Subogen, like Nobunaga might not be able to like survive interrogation. So like Nobunaga will be revealing everything about like how like the about like the entire thing that the band of group has just now done, and basically about like the copying and looting of like the items, and as like how like the band of group members are all back in like the back in like the base like the band of group and all that. So like at that point I'm going to roll everything for like definitely for like Kurapika along with like Gon and Leorio and Killua, and basically all of them decided to like basically and maybe like Nobunaga might have even on in pocket might even reveal about like the property of well, it's also like a double the item of the so like I'm also bring like Kurapika and all of them like basically deciding to like make the ultimate ambush attacks on like the final trophy before like if before Monday like they would be realizing that before Monday they would have to make that ambush attack. This is like one scenario that I was developing. The other scenario would be precisely Hisoka precisely calling like stealthily like once again like Hisoka totally calling like especially Kurapika and revealing to Kurapika that basically the final fruit number comes like actually, and I'm also bring Hisoka most likely doing that precisely after like the final group members would have successfully looted all the items from like the second member from the ocean, and Hisoka calling stealthily calling to Rapika and revealing to Rapika that like, the final group members are still alive. And basically at that point, basically Kurapika along with like so that like Hisoka was doing this so that like and Hisoka would be telling Kurapika precisely so that like Hisoka would be like either Hisoka would be also saying Kurapika to like make their ensure to like basically show up to like the kind of properties before Monday, like so that like the property will be true. Or like Hisoka would be feeling like all he has to do would be just to call and inform Kurapika, and Kurapika would be definitely won't be able to like stop herself from like as soon as possible showing up to like the final properties like on Sunday itself. So like Sunday would be the first statement like I'm preparing like the ambush attack between like the team of like Kurapika, Gon, Yoro, Silva, and probably even before like they would be making their ambush attacks and to like totally run into precisely Silva as well as like Zeno as well as like the scenario that I was just saying. Silva and Zeno even after like their job was like cancelled, like still Silva and Zeno would still be present in like the York, which is technically was into the so like them running into like Silva and Zeno, and then about the Silva totally asking since like they have a tough task at hand to like bring down like the kind of problem. I'm personally bring maybe for like a lot only seeking the help of like Silva to potentially help them out. And especially since like I'm going to bring Silva only like an extremely selfish character. So like I'm just bring solely because like Silva there being no reward involved in this for like Silva. I'm just bring Silva only disagreeing to like help Silva. And then I'm personally bring it would be precisely Xenos that would be like would be more of like a kind-hearted person and should be only deciding to like basically help Silva out, and basically so you like Zeno like Silva as well, which I know but first like basically help Silva out. But like one person is like the other person is like Silva on realizing that basically he was about to attack like such an extremely strong group as like the final group, and like Silva we totally viewing Silva as like just like next higher to like basically take the Zodiac family into like even more bigger, huge greatness. Like I'm totally only putting maybe. So because of that, the Silva would be like in that kind of situation where like Silva wouldn't be able to like let Silva go off to for such a extremely risky mission and end up and that way for Silva to like end up that would be the like last thing that Silva would want. So like solely because of that, like I'm considering maybe Silva saying that he has no other choice but to like team up like and help out like Silva and all of them to like bring down like the Phantom Probe at their base, like to launch their ambush attack at their base. And that way, like Amber Pickering finally like the ambush attack happening precisely on Sunday, like the scenario that Amber Pickering and precisely like during that attack Amber Pickering like precisely before it's like Monday certainly protecting like the entirety of like the remaining property of like that Chrollo had made like so that each and every single one of them exactly happening and ambush different by the time that whole ambush attack will be like finally over like ambush different and before it's like Monday ambush little different only like a badly injured five Phantom Probe members alone would be like including Chloro would be like the only ones to even be able to like succeed in like escaping, but they would be forced to like escape without even being able to like take all the looted items with them, just like the scenario that I'm describing. So like the set looted items that they looted from both the first as well as the second underground option and those thing they will be like separately stored and they would have all that stored basically in like the base of like Panda Group. And none of those items like they would be Flora would be able to like take with them and he would be forced to like escape to survive that uh survive and to avoid captivity like still Flora as well as like the remaining five Panda Group members. The remaining four Panda Group members would be like forced to like escape uh, while like the remaining five final group members will be precisely captured. Reflects the loading Nobunaga will be precisely captured as my personal impression right now. Also, like definitely another impression has for like Hisoka eventually feeling that eventually finally feeling that the time is right to like literally make his like betrayal to like the fandom of official and for Hisoka even deciding to like officially attack turn against Floro and attack Floro and considering that to precisely happen precisely while like during like the whole chaos that will be taking place once like during like the ambush attack of like the entirety of like Kurapika and scenes of like Gon, Leorio, Silva as well as Silva and Zeno. Like when all these people would be like launching their ambush attack and you'd be like rushing into take on like fantastic kind of at that point, at least at that point, I was only pressing like that the officer had to like finally get like the courage to like basically turn to basically officially turn against like Chloro and fight Chloro. Especially I'm working protecting like Kurapika will be like totally fighting against Chloro and still taking the amount of comparison that to take like the dual effort, the combined effort of like both his work as well as like Kurapika to basically eventually be able to like walk out and defeat Chloro because like certainly I'm still taking the amount of comparison that Chloro's like hiding a lot of like true potential and true powers even to like the percentage definitely not percentage. So when Chloro takes out that actual power at that point definitely at that point that when Floro says that he has like all of his like plans and everything has backfired. Like at that point, I'm going to put in Floro actually deciding to like basically Floro will be fed up at that point, and Floro will be deciding to like wouldn't be caring about anything at all. And at that point, Floro would be the only thing in Floro's mind would be like totally to like destroy all these people like. And at that point, like Floro would be bringing out his actual true strength, and that would be like so extremely superior and original strength. So like it would definitely take like the combined effort of both for Africa and Hisoka at that point to be able to like basically work for and defeat Law, like the eventual scenario that involves something in potential impression. Okay, so like definitely my potential impression right now is that at least only due to like the brilliant strategy of floor of setting in like that connecting to like the pen downs like setting in like Kurapika not even getting any backup even after realizing the god like the survival of the final Kurapika even though wouldn't be getting like the odds would be still looking extremely against Kurapika. Definitely my potential impressions were like skip Kurapika would be like totally feeling as if like totally like for Africa at this point wouldn't even care like for Africa would be like straight away deciding to like for Africa would be like real soon like figuring out like especially since like for Africa has realized that like the body are fake like I'm not different the corpses were fake and those were different for Africa to real soon even figure out that basically check most likely check her Scarlet Eye that she had stolen as well and Scarlet Eye item as well she had stolen and figure out that that as well is like fake. So like at that point, Kurapika would be like instantly quickly figuring out like what's exactly going on and precisely where exactly like the Phantom Pros would be showing up next would be precisely on like the second day of like the uh, second underground option. So like I was preparing precisely even before like the second underground option even beginning like I was preparing Kurapika totally totally getting ready and prepared to precisely even though like she would only be having like gone Killua and Leora and was only bring also her right was only bring gone Killua and Leora since like they are also like now know the truth like I was bring like most likely gone Killua and Leora like only as well using like the net conditional extremely risky net conditional power upgrade as well right now. Technically, about Russia. So like that with them as well is getting that sudden jump or like power upgrade with like that each one of like them being possibly able to like take out like one or hold their own against like a single stand-up program by the by. It's definitely a scenario that I'm personally preferring to happen. It's definitely my personal impression. So like then I'm personally preferring what's like especially like the fandom group. So like the group of Kurapika, Gon, and Yorio and Killua will be especially patiently like Kurapika will be making some sort of strategy and like the would be like precisely hide somewhere in like the second round of team building and basically secretly spying on like the odd drawing where like second round option would be that taking place and about something like Kurapika still totally most likely being outsmarted. Like I'm looking for him too, but still Kurapika being like totally outsmarted by the extreme disguise but like the kind of problem. That's like controversy or like still even the positive like the building floor will be like extremely fearful of like the changes or in like the person solely because of like the property. So like I'm offering even with like a chloro ensuring to like put on like the absolute extreme of like the display on each of like at the fandom himself and each of like fandom profile, but still Kurapika figuring them out, like, identifying them and absolutely Kurapika jumping into like attack them and Kurapika would be totally at that point finding it strange how like all of these like exceptionally strong fandom pro members are totally running away from Kurapika. That's like the exact scenario that I'm observing. Like I'm observing all of the panel group members, like especially because of Floro revealing about like the property, like all of the panel group members will be like totally turning away, scared away from like a Kurapika like scenario that I was looking and Amber said only for that's definitely most likely succeed in like still succeed in like looting all the items by creating his copy and still for them to like succeed in like totally escaping and getting away from Kurapika like the scenario that I'm looking for. And considering none of like the other phantom group members, neither Floro nor like the great number of phantom group members, none of them to like even attack Kurapika at all. They would all be like totally focused on trying to like get as far away from Kurapika like the scenario that I'm looking for. And about the different especially as this whole chaos will be happening like I'm those different Nobunaga precisely being like the only person to like not fight like a runaway and like Nobunaga precisely secretly and stealthily trying to like take Kurapika's life from by trying to attack Kurapika from the back is like the scenario that I'm looking and right then I'm looking gone as if especially that by then like gone this is like a conditional nem power like getting that power because gone would be like totally attacking Nobunaga, like Nobunaga was trying to like take the life of Kurapika, and in that whole form of Nobunaga, by at that point, I'm delivering most likely was going to like totally overpower and defeat and catch up Nobunaga or like take Nobunaga's life. It's going to be like either one of its possibilities. And I'm also predicting like maybe if it's like capturing Nobunaga that ends up happening, then I'm also predicting even though by then, like all the remaining kind of group members would have successfully looted all of the items and might have successfully made it back to the base of the kind of group. Still, like with Nobunaga purposely being captured, Sen was referring Nobunaga on being interrogated. Like, I'm just referring, specifically about the person that, like, unlike Shigogen, like, Nobunaga won't be able to, like, easily survive, like, an interrogation, by, uh, by Killua, like it will be precisely Killua that would be precisely taking in charge of like the interrogation of Nobunaga as like the scenario that I'm considering. So I'm considering Nobunaga totally being unable to like survive like the interrogation of Killua and like Nobunaga totally spitting out all the information about like the premonition and everything. It's like the prediction of Floro and everything is like the scenario that I'm considering. And then at that point, like Kurapika, like all of them would be feeling that basically is that suddenly like even though they have like they doesn't even have like any sort of backing from even like the mafia community at all. Like with that them realizing about like the premonition like at that point I was supporting like Kurapika and all of them totally feeling hopeful that basically at that point they would be feeling that basically even though like the planet was still were perfectly able to like escape with like the looted items from but like by were able to successfully escape and loot all the items from even like the second underground ocean as well. Like still at that point like through the property like precisely but you know different Kurapika and all of them totally believing like the property and at that point totally feeling hopeful and then the at that point precisely like Sorapika, Don, Hindu and Leoro, even though it wouldn't be the four of them, like they would be still deciding to like totally risk it all and basically like totally put all of their faith in like the promotion and future fight of Global and basically them totally deciding to like set up to like the base of like the final of the second scenario that number seven. So like so that they would be stepping out of like the second number of them building when number totally like them to like totally right then would be like totally shockingly running into precisely like Zeno as well as like Silva like that scenario that I was different. So like it will be like totally instantly clicking for them that basically things are totally happening according to like the prophecy that basically even though they don't at all have like any sort of backing at all from like the market community, like still like precisely like them even meeting like Zeno and Silva will precisely things eventually resulting in like Zeno and Silva precisely joining the team to like basically help them bring down like the Phantom Troop attack and bring down like the Phantom Troop and make the prophecy right that way. Will be along the lines like Kurapika and all of them would be thinking, but like traders like it would be asking for help, like I'm also different Silva as Silva only disagreeing with like the scenario that I'm also saying, Silva only telling Silva straight away that no, like it's just like there's no reward involved, that you only simply are thing point of their things that like so like at that point the strategy that Silva would be using would be Silva most likely like Silva won't be using any strategy, but I'm also talking about Silva telling that Silva and Zeno, Grandpa Zeno, that basically, okay, fine. So like at least if you are not coming, then we are definitely going to proceed and go on ahead. Just like our Indian board like bring down the final group. So like at that point, like I'm also preparing for Silva only feeling scared for like the just like great higher like Silva possibly ending up that in that attack against like the great higher up like the Zodiac family to basically take the that he hopes to take the Zodiac family to the greatness like possibly dying by the hands of like Sapana or so like that would be like something that Silva simply wouldn't be able to like imagine. So like Amber wouldn't want it also like especially that way like finally Silva and Samuel like totally like teaming up and basically together like all of them like heading to like so like Ron and Kid were telling them the right way towards like the way to final of like them making their ambush attack and on the final of base and right then like Hisoka as well like betraying like Chrollo and that way like the team of like Gong and Kurapika and all of them like they really getting like Hisoka as well on their side so like they really for all of them to like collectively fight against the and bring down like the final group and that way like the prophecy to coming through before like it turns Monday. That's like the scenario that I'm sitting on the remember. Okay, so like I think my position and prediction right now is that like successfully it might have been a product that might have been like like mafia member that might have in like the very different path might have came to like Riordan in like the different path and might have especially searched for like a valuable strong personal to basically to work for him and Fred might out there like Riordan like basically Fred might have precisely found Chloro Vogan like Nobunaga and like that the five Riordan members in like the Phantom Group might have been initially might have been precisely picked by precisely selectively picked by precisely Friday in like the different path. It's certainly my person to remember it. So it's basically for Friday to like achieve like ultimate goal of getting all the way to like making in like getting to like the position of one of the being like one of the tendons or like maybe eventually even taking out all the tendons and basically working along to be like the only soft dog might have been like Nostradamus like ultimate goal from way back as the female person to the so like I'm considering Nostradamus so Neon like basically might have had like her future predicting ability even from a very young age. Even back when Neon was a child, certainly not was into so like Nostradamus might have totally used that ability of Neon on one side to basically climb up the ranks of like mafia rank on one side and at the same time like And even then, like Nostrada might have not been that bad at all. So like Nostrada like might have also like searched in a Riodan to like basically find like a system point uh, uh, personal basically to form this like groups according to like Nostrada might have had this, like strategy to like form this like villanistic group and maybe it might have been like and so like Nostrada might have especially selected like Chrollo and like the remaining four Riodan members and basically like form this group and maybe like Flora might have called it like the Phantom Probe and basically using the Phantom Program those you're only putting like Nostrada might have uh, precisely using like the Phantom Probe Nostrada might have precisely use the Phantom Probe to like basically grow up and go up higher in the rank as like a mafia member, which definitely my person so like my very impressions are like using the panel of like Nostra might have used like shortly the panel of group created and used like the whole panel of group to like basically only for Nostra to be able to basically climbed up like the mafia rank, especially my very impression. So it might be like the potential result of like Nostra like that extreme goal that basically might have resulted in like the wipe out of like the entirety of like the clan would be sufficient solely for like Nostra to basically want all those scarlet eyes for himself and for him to get those all the scarlet eyes by making like the panel of attack and wipe out like the entirety of like the clans and steal their scarlet eyes solely for like so that like Nostra could like basically like sell all those cars right and make a lot of money. Like but they were totally putting like that might have been what might have happened in like the different past which definitely might have been temperature. So like Prada might have been like the ultimate villain. And I'm still sticking to my other predictions from earlier that basically even Friday, like basically Kurapika being like Friday's bodyguard, that single bodyguard alone that has that is like a exceptionally strong might have been like the precise point where like not where like a huge backfire might have happened to like Friday because like Friday's the whole reason even behind like putting up like the bodyguard job of Friday might have put up the job in such a way so that it would only attract like the fighters, week hunters, to basically to even sign up for that job of Friday. So when Friday might have expected like these fighters, like all of a sudden, like totally unexpectedly, Friday might have not realized that this Victor Rapic is like an exceptionally strong hunter. And so like it will be perfectly for Rapic the constant bodyguard presence out surrounding Friday might be the special reason for like the Panadol not being able to like get all the items they especially stored from like the first underground object to Nostrade. It's definitely my personal theory. I'm rich. So like I'm also putting like even Nostrade, even like basically putting up this bodyguard job offer and everything, and keeping a bunch of bodyguards around him would be precisely to like clear Nostrade's right and like to make Nostrade look like a convincing like mafia member rather than so that like Nostrada's like connection to like the final probe wouldn't get exposed like to keep that connection remain hidden and to totally using the stealthy manner to use the connection to like the final probe like the final probe to like totally for its advantage and for them through this like the underground option so that they might have planned to like basically take the life of all the stand on using like the phantom probe. And it might have also been like an order given by Friday to like the Phantom Probe. And so like the Phantom Probe brilliantly, like basically Chloro brilliantly might have sought the help of like the Zoldyck family members. And that way using Illumi and like the Illumi sister, like basically they like taking out like the life of Mr. Tendon and basically like Nostrada currently would be totally feeling as if like he has totally made to such made finally made it as like the top 10 like that as like the one and only top down would be what I know Friday might be totally getting even by simultaneously putting on that as good and extreme fake act in front of Soraphic acid like Friday is like totally worried about like the whole entire situation and everything going on in like Yosna city. This definitely is my personal impression. And even Friday even sending out like bodyguards to capture like the phantom probe might have been precisely not while being fully conscious that basically the like bodyguards are like nowhere near even strong to even face like the kind of profile might have been like an attempt by products exercise and clear intent to like basically at that point Felix Mopala might have felt that he wouldn't need like his bodyguards anymore. So like he could only get rid of like bodyguards because like since it was after like stealing like all the loot items from like the first round of them. So Friday might have wanted like the Phantom Troop to basically deliver like all those looted items to the first lane of Friday. And Friday might want to like see all those looted items for himself to basically check like the authenticity of those items as if it's like a real or fake and all that sort of. So essentially because of this reason he might have wanted to like get rid of like just like bodyguards as soon as possible at that point. So especially because of this reason no Friday might have constantly sent out his like bodyguards to the castle of like the Phantom Troop hoping like totally hoping that they would be only dying by the hands of the Panoptic. So like only due to like rapid up persons like the bodyguards of Nafrade, majority of them like totally surviving. And this might have been like that constant like disturbance for Nafrade that basically even with like the Panoptic successfully like looting all the items still for Rapika being the like obstacle in Nafrade way to like basically that prevents like the kind of being able to like deliver like the stolen items to the Friday, especially in a person to remember. So like I'm also thinking maybe like even in like when like the kind of infiltrated into like the into or even infiltrated into like the second underground option building and like using that neon and all that like even maybe the along with like the purpose of like stealing neon's like future prediction ability and also using like that future prediction ability to like guarantee the success of like the looting of like the auction items in like the second round option on top of that like brings that way like causing like Friday to like show up to like the second round option building so that like Laura would be able to like possibly even hand over like the looted items to like Friday might have been also like part of like so that the Chrollo would be able to hand over like the looted items. Like Chrollo might have even back then might have also brought like with him like using like that shadow beast members like a unique and ability like Chrollo might have even brought like all the stolen items from like maybe like the first looted items from like treatment like the first underground option as well, which was like pending to be like handed over to like Musrade. Like Flora might have like, brought that all those items as well to like the second underground of the building when Flora had showed up there. And Flora might have only expected like to be able to like meet up with like Friday and that way hand over like all the items stolen from like both like the first as well as like the second underground outfit. It's definitely not doesn't everything, but like eventually that plan of like Flora might have only failed. Solely maybe due to like Sorapika's presence there. It's definitely might have been understand, especially because like because of especially because of like Floro having like her neon promotion even back then during while Floro even showed up to like the second underground option building would be like the reason for Floro even precisely and consciously deciding to like not even show up in front of like Sorapika at all even back then. And that might be like it might have been like the precise point when like Neon might have made that future prediction that basically Floro might have realized that basically he should like stay as far away from like the uh, same user like and after realizing like how much of a danger like the premonitions connecting to like game user is for that very exact week. It's definitely my person to revolution and hence maybe like Floro might have not been able to like hand over like license to like and so like that might have been like the neon like promotion might have been like the sole reason for like Chloro not being even able to like hand over like all the loot and food from like both like the first and second and round option to like to precisely like Friday to showed up to like the second and round option with it that way, especially according to like Floro's like stealthy plan. So definitely my question to temperature. So like Floro might have had to like still postpone like the handing over of like the load of goods to basically Friday event then is definitely my first fully due to like Florafrica. The chain was sort of the my question to temperature. That way like the chain was up even from right up set to that becoming like this repeated constant obstacle to like both Nostra and like the kind of thing might have been what might have happened leading up to this point. It's definitely my person to right now. Yes, so like definitely my person to right now is like Chloro writing down like the properties of each of like the kind of person. But then the thing like when Chloro chase it will be exactly similar to like the how yeah, it was for Neon when Neon writes down her premonition. Future projections. Remember the dreams. And it's like, especially as Neon to be writing it down, like the premonition, Neon won't be able to like won't be able to like realize what she's like writing down. It will be only after she's done writing down her premonition that Neon would be even effect like Neon that even Flora will be able to like look at the premonition and see what like the premonition is about. It's just name of the movie and so like number three Floro that writing down the premonition for each and every single one of them. So and yeah, like precisely as like Floro would be writing down Hisoka's like premonition. Definitely Hisoka's premonition will be different, but I'm considering none of like the all of the fantasy group members would be like totally looking at their premonition. So like Hisoka's premonition would be written down and considering like Hisoka's like real soon like take the paper, grab the paper from Floro and Ambassador putting like all of like, the remaining panel members having like the exact same promotion as the Goa, except for precisely Hisoka. Because precisely because Hisoka is like that ultimate traitor and precisely only putting Hisoka's like promotion alone being like absolutely totally different. But I'm just putting like his capability, right? But Hisoka is totally playing alone and playing along and trying to like trick Roro by saying like while all the other remaining fan members would be just telling Roro that you don't have the same promotion here. So as well saying that you have the same promotion by without showing like the contents of like like paper. It's like the scenario that I'm going to portray. Like one possibility that I'm going to down. The second possibility is like basically precisely as like a Chloro will be writing down the promotion of each of them. Like I'm personally putting like usually once Chloro will be writing down his Hisoka's promotion straight away like basically the remaining fan group members like possibly seeing Hisoka's promotion. That's like the other possibility that I'm also the base. Or like the other possibility that basically even though none of the fan group members will be seeing as like Chloro will be writing down Hisoka's promotion, while all of them will be totally focused on their own promotion and still like Hisoka totally like telling the role that basically along with everyone that basically he as well got like the same promotion, but like everybody else would be like showing the promotion from their pursuit like Rolo, but like Hisoka alone would be like not showing it to Rolo and would be like about to destroy like Hisoka like promotion paper saying that it's like the same. But right then, like I'm delivering maybe for Flora to like completely stop Hisoka right there and basically telling Hisoka to like completely show like the promotion you are from what exactly is like completely just show like I get it that it's like the same as everybody else, but completely show me like the promotion that I was so like right then I'm delivering Hisoka totally smiling and Hisoka totally destroying like the paper promotion paper and Hisoka straight away like escaping and escaping out of like the random road page and that way he sort of like cover being blown with like the entirety of like the final through finding out that basically Hisoka is like that ultimate traitor. That's like the other possibility that I'm also putting. Yet like even though Hisoka would be like quickly destroying like his like paper like promotion paper, Hisoka would have quickly like read the contents of like that promotion concerning Hisoka and I was wondering if Soka would be having such high memories that really Soka would be able to like remember that like promotion. And I'm just wondering with Hisoka, and if that's the scenario, then I'm also thinking precisely as Hisoka would be like escaping from like the kind of road base, like precisely the exact location that Hisoka would be precisely heading to would be precisely towards the Chinese, or precisely towards like Gon and Killua and all of them. And from that point on, I'm just only putting Hisoka from that point on would have any sort of restriction because like back when Hisoka was like in like the Phantom Pro base as like in back when we talk about this like the Phantom Pro members like basically Hisoka had limitations as to like how much he could like only speak or interact with like Kurapika because like especially because like there's always like the possibility of like any Phantom Pro member even supporting Hisoka and like the more time Hisoka is away from like the Phantom Pro like the suspicion even being formed so like what and then for Hisoka when Hisoka has the Hisoka even being unable to like even call properly call Hisoka even having to like to ensure that it's like completely stealthy for Hisoka to be able to like even call for Apika and Hisoka mostly like might be even relying on messaging for Apika and all that. But now at that point that when it's like the scenario is like Hisoka totally getting exposed and Hisoka escaping from Vexafan to base, then Hisoka would number differing would be straight away heading towards Kurapika again. Then Hisoka would be unrevealing, especially revealing like everything about like the entire thing about like all the promotion and everything, all the details concerning like the Phantom Group and everything they did and everything. Like basically, Hisoka will be revealing everything to like all of them, and maybe it will be during that reveal, ultimate reveal that Hisoka will be making that. Maybe it will be then that maybe Hisoka will be like also revealing that Friday is like the first person that has like hired the Phantom Group and making them through all this job like that reveal as well most likely happening during that point is definitely my person to immersion. Even though if that's like the scenario, even though I'm not preparing for Bond, Killua, like and at that point Bond, Killua and Kurapika telling Bond, Killua and all of them that basically Friday is my boss to whom I was like working for as like a bodyguard. Even though at that point like definitely Bond, Diorio and Killua would get all this up, for example, they still sticking to my was the impression that if the Kurapika definitely knows something and maybe Kurapika knows that basically Friday like the man behind like that ultimate villain who totally due to his desire to be like one of the 10 down basically controlling like the standard of organization might have been like the first person who like rewarding and controlling that and making like the standard of organization do all the winners thing. And hence why like Kurapika possibly like rejecting like the job of the Friday. Uh, um, like the other possibility that I'm just regarding. So even then numbers different for especially the first reason for Sorapika still like having multiple opportunities, let's especially take Mosfrada's life, and yet Sorapika still choosing not to take Mosfrada's life will be especially due to some certain specific reason. Just also like my other possible person question. Yes, so like definitely my talking to reimbursement right now is for like one's like ultimate strategy to search a brilliant journey in like 2 days. And the brain might be precisely to for going to like precisely one might be planning on like precisely like helping for Africa out and basically for Gone it would be more like more about like basically wanting to like help for Africa out and being able her being able to like print down the plan for that would be like the highest main priority for Gone in like the totally do like Gone being more empathetic and having like that puts your heart. Definitely my doesn't do mention, but like Gone might have figured that in the process, Gone being able, possibly being able to like make that 6 billion Jenny or even more. And the precise plan of Gone would be to like precisely defeat like the plan to prove. And basically that way steal back all the later items that like the plan of proof, random proof has been later this would might have been like this might be like a God's plan because like they are all extremely rare item, but since like they are not part, all those items are not part of like an actual auction. They all those items are part of like an underground auction, like I'm looking. One might have totally figured that basically if they get if they defeat the random group, like they will be getting their hands on all those items and like they this is like items for like the underground from like the from like an underground auction. They don't have to like return it to anyone, so like they feel like totally make it use all those items for themselves and basically sell all those items and like and they make a lot of money like way even way more than 6 billion Jenny might be what uh Bond would be totally planning that basically so that like they would be 60 by selling all those items they would be able to like make a lot more than 6 billion Jenny for like within like just the 2 days before like the main working option. This might be like a precise like 60% success rate ultimate strategy of Gone, especially my doesn't reimburse. Okay, so like I definitely not doesn't reimbursement right now as for like the promotion of God like the sort of like the part where like it got sets out all the information of the kind of proof that for Africa and like the part about Logan would be specifically delighting for Africa and so the thing it's what only have to do with like definitely like for Africa might inject the person would be feeling that still feeling that the certain extent of like that disturbance of like having taken Logan's life. Uh, Kurapika someone like especially since my thought theory that Wogan might have been like the first person whose life that basically Kurapika might have even taken his up like it's definitely my thought theory members. So like Kurapika still would be having that certain level of like that guilt and disturbance within her connecting to Wogan for like Kurapika taking Wogan's life. But that even that disturbance would be within Kurapika would be like instantly gone the moment like Hisoka would be revealing about like all the extreme villainous things that Wogan had done to like the Pushpa clans uh, which like will be like all those details would be potentially things that Wogan might have like that even though Hisoka was not present while like the Vanderbilt attack like the Cossack line. Still, like the Wogan might have totally put Wogan's like boasting kind of character. Like Wogan might have totally boasted about like maybe in the past Wogan might have totally boasted about it and forgot. Or like I'm considering some other kind of group member might have like told Hisoka about like the villainous acts of Wogan. Some other fan group member who might have totally remember, who might have been present during like the whole Cossack line attack. uh, about the thing might have totally revealed about to Hisoka in like the past about once Hisoka joined like the fan group like that fan group member might have revealed to Hisoka about like casually talk to Hisoka and might have through that talk might have might even like he might have like the fan group member might have revealed about like all the extreme villainous things that Logan did to like the first of Clan. So like Hisoka would be revealing all that as per like the prophecy. So number different for Hisoka to like reveal all those extreme villainous acts of like Logan's for Africa and that all those villainous acts that Logan did to like the Korra clan would also involve Logan professionally taking not just simply taking the life of like Kurapika's family, like maybe like not just Kurapika's parents alone, but like Kurapika's siblings as well. Like Logan might have taken the life of, and might have not only just been that like Logan might have also given them like not just a quick death, but like a suffering death. So like I'm looking for Hisoka most likely revealing this to like Kurapika and at that point Kurapika totally like having that whole disturbance within her of like having taken the woman life like basically only instantly going away like straight away because like that would be like the what like especially like the correction point talks about like Kurapika feeling the like on hearing about like the details about like the killer things that Wogan did might have been my would be definitely the scenario is definitely my person to impression and also like my percentage impression for like the meaning behind like the remaining of like his sort of like correction poem was literally something it will be precisely that like basically he would like in like the during like the scorching sun basically Hisoka being able to like roam off against like we precisely meaning that basically especially since like right now on the only parting it's like almost night time is what I'm saying so and my personal theory so like I'm also parting especially since it's like already about to be nighttime or already nighttime I'm also only parting for what is okay to be facing off against like Chrollo in like the scorching sun such a during such a time it would be precisely before like the weekend it will be like perfectly on Sunday, like since like the Sunday Saturday and Thursday only, but then like it will be perfectly the next day Sunday in like perfectly noon time, just when perfectly everything like Kurapika gathering up like Gon and basically Gon Killua as well as Leora and basically also like it's like Zeno as well as Silva by Kurapika's state, like basically them launching their ambush attack on like the base of like the Phantom and it would be precisely because of like it would be precisely Kurapika that would be making all the precise effect strategy and everything to go on and all of them to like precisely how exactly to like precisely launch their ambush attack on like a random group and when it's actually to like launch their ambush attack on like random group and all that. So like about the precisely this would be like the help of like Kurapika according to like the poem of like prediction poem of like Hisoka that tells that basically solely due to like the help of Kurapika that Hisoka will be able to like fight off against like Chrollo. So we precisely this because like at that point during like precisely because of like that masterpiece of like a strategy that I'm also only thing through which like Kurapika would be creating through which like the ambush attack on like Spanish case would be happening by Kurapika and things. It would be precisely because of that ambush attack alone that basically Hisoka would be even be able to finally get his chance to be able to like fight off in like a one versus one fight against like in like a one versus one fight against like Chrollo. It's definitely my personal theory on Russia. So like right now, according to like the recent poem, recent poem connecting to like Hisoka, I'm personally right. So it is only because of that production poem. I'm personally it would be most likely like Kurapika might actually like try fighting off against like Chrollo. But still, I'm personally Kurapika totally being off and defeated by Chrollo. And then I'm personally for it would be like a one versus one fight between like Chrollo and Hisoka. in which they totally protecting like Hisoka might actually like eventually struggle to train to like eventually possibly being able to like offer and defeat Chrollo, but still the protecting towards like the end of like the poem comes to like Hisoka. It's say different like as to like basically kind of like six of them like six of like the side of like being able to like survive and the totally protecting definitely one of them would be definitely obviously Chrollo and including Chloro and the different five other Phantom Group members that basically would be successfully escaping uh, and surviving and escaping. It's like the scenario that I'm was like even with like Hisoka not and like the page of like the calendar basically the someone's connecting to calendar how like one of like the page would be locked or something. This is was different. It would be perfectly referring to Hisoka like even without Hisoka in like the Phantom Group from that point on like still once like then the fight will be over, like really six fandom group members, like, even excluding Hisoka, like six fandom group members, including Laura, will be definitely succeeding in like escaping. It's like the eventual final scenario that I'm listening to delivering in my presentation. Okay, so like I definitely my presentation impression right now. As for like Parkanoda being like absolutely shocked at seeing like Hisoka like fortune paper. Fortune poem paper, like I'm considering it totally has to do with like what exactly Hisoka might have done as Hisoka handed over his like fortune poem paper to Parkanoda. Definitely my presentation impression. What Hisoka might have done would be precisely Hisoka might have used it like unique manpower to like precisely try to like copy like this because like definitely my presentation impression is that like for everybody else for all the other remaining family members, they might have had like the very exact range costume point written in it by Chrollo. It's definitely not present theorem. So like Hisoka might have totally tried to like copy the content of all the other very same exact costume poem of like all the other fandom group members by precisely through Hisoka's memory of having heard through that costume poem, which definitely not present theorem. And that would be how Hisoka that unit manpower would be working. Like whatever Hisoka having in mind, like Hisoka might be able to like instantly like touch like the paper and easily might be able to like turn the handwriting on that not the handwriting but like the content of like, the paper into like precisely what Hisoka have in his mind. But I'm also referring like Hisoka might have not been able to like fully memorize like the contents of like the portion paper that Chloro had read about himself and about like all the other remaining final group members, especially members in the English. So like because of that, like Hisoka's like even though Hisoka attempted might have attempted to like straight away change like the contents and turn it into a copy of like the other final group members like Boston writing about their own something like Hisoka might have not been able to like fully like perfect the reflex or copying process and so like about the bring there might exist like a slight bit of change in like the content of like even though like Hisoka would be none of like the actual content of like what was written in like Hisoka question paper might definitely not be revealed at all. Still what Papanada might have only seen would be like in Hisoka's fortune paper alone like basically a slight bit of different in content in like the content of like the Watson poem in like Hisoka's Watson poem alone. It's like the scenario that I'm bring. This might be the professor written for like Pakanada being shocked at seeing like Hisoka's Watson paper alone. Like why everybody else, every other like Watson paper might have been exactly similar, exactly the same with like absolutely no difference at all. Like Hisoka's Watson paper alone might be having like a tiny bit of different like its content here and there. So certainly the person to have so like straight away I'm those different like that itself and that's like another that I'm different and that itself straight away like creating that extreme suspicion that Chloro might have never had towards like Hisoka, and that would be instantly being formed at that very instant. It's like the scenario that I'm different. Yet I'm different like Chloro trying out his like next using his like next brilliant strategy would be like certainly while because like at that point I'm from the protecting the practice of that for the paper alone having like a slide set of different like every other remaining final group member will be like carefully staring at Hisoka with like suspicion. So like right then I'm certainly something like slow that they playing the strategy and playing it off as basically as like it's nothing relevant at all. Like basically like basically it's like basically the same thing and like him totally trying to play it off as like absolutely nothing serious and Flora totally is succeeding in that it's like the scenario that I was referring. So like all like the remaining fan group members would have like totally been convinced by Chloro that basically there's nothing suspicious about like Hisoka and but still Hisoka might be feeling like a bit alert from that point on, especially my cousin Terry American, like that of like the possibility that there might have been like a suspicion formed within Chloro, and Chloro possibly might be like playing it off like that would be like maybe kind of obvious profit of that. So that would be on alert from that point on, especially my cousin Terry American. So and especially with like a sort of card as well, and also bring a sort of card as well, to be having that prediction kind of effect, or like a sort of card even right then even showing like the Reaper, and whether it's only predicting it would only have to do with like an incoming fatal kind of like danger of being like a real possibility for Hisoka would be like the precise meaning behind that Reaper card of Hisoka. Especially with that shown up, especially my doesn't remember. So my personal theory and prediction as for like how exactly Chloro might be precisely like precisely fully tricking Hisoka and referring precisely to the Chloro being using the precise exact strategy. My personal theory and prediction said like the strategy that Chloro would be using is would be like Chloro with precisely stealing Parthenoda's like net ability. Chloro would be like protect Parthenoda and considering either the like Parthenoda's consent or like either with Parthenoda's consent or like without Parthenoda even realizing that Floro like that itself might definitely steal away Parthenoda's like net ability of being able to like read a person's memory by just by a single touch. So like Floro and was different to totally steal that net just like that yourself without none of like the kind of members even realizing, and basically Floro then casually eventually later on at some point like basically before they would be even setting off for like their whole looting of from like the second round of the like right before that maybe I'm separating like for like a little bit of time later I'm separating like sort of actually basically like holding or like touching just touching like barely touching it or and at that point like using like since like Laura at that point would be possessing like the nen ability of like Pathanoda, like Laura would be instantly able to like read through like the entire flexion memory of Hisoka. And Hisoka won't be realizing that like the scenario that I'm about to portray. And Laura at that point would be like shockingly realizing basically as to like the connection between like the same use of Hisoka as well as those two kids like Gon and Killua that they had brought here. So like at that point like Floro will be getting that absolute extreme shock of like the extreme danger situation in which like Floro is in. Floro would be only realizing at that point, but Floro definitely would be realizing at that point is like the scenario that I'm about to bring that basically definitely they won't be able to like escape the chain use of even if like say hide in like the ways of the phantom group because like of Gon and Killua like the chain user will be able to make it all the way to like the base of like the phantom group. So like Toro realizing all that just by that single touch on Hisoka, it's like the scenario that I'm about to bring. That shock for Toro, like the scenario that I'm about to bring. And then from that point on, Toro will be like totally totally like seriously singing long and hard and trying to and would be totally bringing up forming like another sort of like brilliant strategy to like totally counter this like incoming danger towards like Loro and like the Phantom Group. It's like the scenario that I'm totally putting in my different rainbows. Okay, so like definitely my experience impression right now is that like basically even by this sort of after even after having like the power to be able to like change like the content of like the fortune point of Shizuoka, still Shizuoka precisely ensuring to like basically to basically reveal to all of like the remaining fandom group members that basically that Hisoka is in fact a traitor and has had been like calling like making phone contacts with like the red eye chain user and also like Hisoka in his like even in his like post like letter like this post like fortune point like basically ensures to like also point out that basically in that eventual fight like Hisoka would definitely be dying like basically this two would be like Hisoka strategy because like I'm also referring Hisoka might have done this consciously, definitely I wasn't doing it. Especially since like Hisoka has such exceptionally high NEN powers, like NEN observation powers and everything. So it's like Hisoka was perfectly when he was able to like tell everything that Gon and Killua was doing back in like the Heaven's Arena. Everything kind of relating to like Gon and Killua like training with like Wing and everything. Even while Hisoka was in like totally a distance, extremely distant location, even in like that very same floor or like Heaven's Arena, even by Hisoka has like such extreme observation power and sensing capabilities like skills. But they don't different especially because of this like Hisoka might have consciously like done that. Like, in my documentary that especially the first reason it definitely wasn't like a scenario in which like Hisoka was like totally lost in thought with like the contents of this like fortune poem and all of a sudden like fashion order like basically um, um like telling asking Hisoka for this like for fortune poem paper like forcing Hisoka to like quickly do something like without like clarity like for Hisoka to just randomly do something and try to like hide like and basically resulting in like the content of it sort of often point ending up like this was certainly not the scenario that happened. It's definitely my person to everything. So that consciously ensured to like precisely to change his like content of this like fortune point to reflect exactly to what it is and basically it will be perfectly sorted out like Hisoka genuinely feeling that basically that it's time for Hisoka to like actually leave like the Phantom Troop and basically make it evident to like the Phantom Troop that like Hisoka is like a traitor. It's definitely my person to remember. Hisoka might have totally felt no more that much of a fear towards like the Phantom Troop anymore. It's definitely my person to remember. Especially like the precise promotion connecting to like the Phantom Troop that Chrollo had made like basically that might have given a serious boost of confidence for Hisoka as well. It's definitely worth looking to remember. So like since then like Hisoka might have been the only thing along the lines of like yeah, I don't know, like a real someone like we could be like a really that basically it's like about time for Hisoka to like make it obvious and to make it reveal that he's like he has been like betraying like fan of group and escaped like the fan of group for the timing and for Hisoka to like join up with the Kurapika and others and together for them to like take down like the fan group like so they might have been already thinking that after like reading like neons like promotion like flow like and so I might have been like uh feeling confident about doing exactly that. It's definitely not looking to it. So like another thing is his also perfectly changing like the content of like his workout option points and considering it would be the precise intent of his workout to like basically one would be like to make it to make the reveal that basically so have been maintaining so like the betrayer a member of the fan group and the other intent of Hisoka will be precisely to add that precise content in like that to change and add that precise content in like Hisoka's Waffles poem where like Hisoka says where that Hisoka is going to be like the one that among like the 500 member that would be like ending up that so like even that as well was like precisely a conscious strategy from Hisoka to create like that extreme fear and to totally in a way to like totally destroy like the confidence of like Cloro and like the fandom group, especially members of the fandom because like I'm perceiving right now like the fandom group members will be totally through his office promotion will be totally expecting five fandom group members to like actually die. So that would be like even more of a severe possibility. And participating it would be also Hisoka might have also added his own name as well among in like that post point as like one among like the five that would be dying would be precisely Hisoka strategy to like basically so that like anyone among like any member of the panel group that will be approaching Hisoka in a fight like even Floro like the big blue this is like Floro like Hisoka's main target like and Hisoka might have precisely done that so that like even Floro would be like eventually when Hisoka would be fighting off against Floro like Floro would be only have feeling that extreme overconfidence in cyberbullying like it is exactly according to like Hisoka, for instance, future promotion poem as well, like Hisoka is certainly going to die. So like that most likely giving that offer extreme overconfidence for Floro, eventually as like when Floro will be fighting off against Hisoka, which Hisoka would be totally planning on eventually taking that as the advantage of to bring down Chrollo. So like this would be like the first strategy for Hisoka adding its own name as among like the list of like the five people that will be dying. And that way slightly changing like the content of Hisoka's like future promotions poem in exactly such a manner. Secondly, my percentage impression. Okay, so like they know percentage impression right now as well. Like Chrollo being able to like move in an instant and stop now to another from attacking Hisoka and also bring it to totally and so they have to do with like one among the many great number of like unique and abilities that Chrollo might have stored all of such like great number of years as like the kind of leader, especially with the MRS. So like the precise net unique enabled and protecting it would be like a unique enabled using the switch that Chrollo would be able to like achieve definitely won't be at all having to do with like Chrollo having like something like extra speed that Chrollo would be able to like move in that instant to such to that much distance and that based option open and that it's definitely not what happened. It's definitely not going to be anything. You definitely have to do with like the chloro processing, like the unit enabled using the chloro might be able to like essentially teleportation unit enabled teleportation power. Like that would be what one of like, the many unit enabled that chloro will be using which might be exactly how chloro might represent this stop and open a from attacking so that definitely my person to end. Okay, so like definitely the doesn't during the right now was that like Hisoka has definitely fallen for like close of like ultimate run set for precisely Hisoka. Definitely my percentage impression. Currently set for only Hisoka. Definitely my percentage impression. Especially because of like Chloro that's simply out of the blue like so blindly assuming that basically that basically exactly it was like chloro even after all this like having that almost like make it convincing like all the remaining phantom troop members might have been exactly what that chloro might have done like to convince all the remaining phantom troop members and Hisoka. I see like the brilliant strategy of chloro by saying them by revealing this like logic behind like Chloro, as of like Chloro actually believes that basically Hisoka still has to be truly loyal to like the Phantom Troop, and it's like it was something that they believe the Phantom Troop. It was something that precisely like the change was up to like Hisoka basically by enforcing like the sword of law rules by through which like Hisoka won't be able to like lie to Kurapika and Hisoka won't be able to like reveal anything about Kurapika that way. Kurapika blackmailing and Hisoka and basically Kurapika. The change was basically that by controlling Hisoka was precisely what like Hisoka to do all this and betray like the Phantom Troop and all this like precisely this is like precisely Chloro even making up such an elaborate explanation for and the precise fake absolute fake reasons to fake yet convincing reasons to precisely convince like all of like the each and every single one of like the Phantom Troop members, especially including Hisoka would be precisely the ultimate strategy of Chloro that name I wasn't remember. Even by Chloro be saying all this like Chloro being well and fully aware right now. In like the person that is definitely an actual traitor. It's definitely my person to recommend to precisely find out everything that's on the Zoka's mind. That would be precisely Chloro's like intent, like the absolute self. Definitely still thinking to my person that Chloro's current plan would be precisely to like secretly like steal the inability of precisely Papanoda and precisely just touch Hisoka, especially if like Hisoka wouldn't be like even expecting like such Hisoka won't be able to and then definitely Hisoka not even in like in Hisoka not even in his like wildest dream would be like even expecting like for like Zoro to like pull out such an ultimate strategy of like precisely tricking Hisoka by stealing like Papanoda's like Nen ability, memorize reading like Nen ability and precisely it's like then for Zoro to like precisely just casually just touch even like the slightest touch on Hisoka like basically for Floro to like that way instantly find out all the truth that they believe lying within like because of smile. Like basically this would be like definitely in a Floro's current strategy and in order to hide the strategy would be like the preparation for Floro in order to like, hide the strategy and in order for Floro to even be able to like use this strategy against like a soda and that way for Floro to like know the absolute real truth connecting to like the soda and like the same user like lot of ultimate priorities definitely to basically keep Hisoka in like staying in like the fandom group base and a fandom group along with them. So like in order to keep Hisoka in like the fandom group as like a member of like the fandom group, precisely this would be like a separate excuse of like a fake reason that Flora might have totally came up with to totally justify Hisoka's actions up until Hisoka's actions and to justify like the fortune poem of like Hisoka. It's definitely my personal theory impression. So like this is exactly what I'm personally only predicting for like the upcoming scenario, eventual scenario. So definitely my personal theory impression. Okay, so like definitely my personal theory impression right now is also when like even back when like Barcelona have basically captured Dawn and Killua like Barcelona has definitely acquired the memories of like Killua. So definitely by reading like the memories of Kindua, even back then, definitely I was going to remember that even back then, Pathanada might have definitely been able to like precisely read through Kindua's memories and find out that basically how Gon, Kindua, and Hisoka related. And basically as to that and Pathanada might have also while reading like the memories of Kindua might have also seen how like Kindua have this like bond of friendship. Kindua and this kid Gon has like good even Hisoka has this a relation uh, with like this precise friend of theirs who's basically like the sole survivor of like the Kurtak line. Basically, since like that memory only exists about Kurapika being like the sole survivor of like the Kurtak line, even existing within like Killuampo. I think way back when Paganoda might have read like the memories of Kilua, Paganoda might have learned all the definitely might have been written, but still back then solely because Kilua not knowing that Kurapika is like in fact like the same user solely because of that like Paganoda might have not been able to like, connect all those information to precisely Kurapika being like the same user. Definitely no person to mention. But my person to impression right now is that it is really right now since through like the after like the Chrollo's like the latest like premonition like basically Chrollo's like premonition to all of them like basically like it's revealing about like the Scarlet type person like and Chloro detecting that the Scarlet type person is in fact like the same user and also with like basically with like even after like Chloro and all the panel group members like specifically Kakanoda as well finding out about like Hisoka like the precise premonition future side premonition poem of Hisoka in this precisely the precise detail about like the Scarlet type chain use of as well as like Hisoka like secretly having like making phone conversation as well. Like basically at that point it might have been like totally confirmed for yeah, so like definitely my book theory and presence that like when Chrollo through this like made this like premonition poem through which like Chloro revealed that basically the Scarlet type person in like the in like the premonition poem of Chrollo in fact like the chain user at that point itself it might have been definitely been confirmed for Martin that basically this precise Scarlet type person is precisely like connected to Hisoka as well as like Gon and Killua. It's definitely not going to remember. So the Scarlet type person is being like the chain user, and the chain user already being connected to that Hisoka. That way, like Hisoka being like the absolute traitor might have been like fully confirmed to Pakanoda even back then. So definitely not going to remember. So like I'm considering Pakanoda might have secretly even revealed that particular information to Chloro already, especially not going to remember. So like I'm considering flow of tend to like precisely even read like to read like the premonition to read like the premonition of like each and every single one of the financial member as well. Even when Chloro might did that like even then like Chloro might have been already well and fully aware that basically Hisoka is like the traitor. It's the traitor of the name I wasn't remember. So like Chloro might have consciously done that for the future premonition reading creation of like each of like the kind of remember but Florida doing that might have been the like the price and conscious intent to like precisely get out like might have done that precisely by targeting Hisoka while not making it obvious to Hisoka that like Floro but without trying to make Hisoka realize that Floro is specifically targeting Hisoka might have been what might have happened if the Lima was remembers so like I'm just saying even though Chloro still might have not expected like Hisoka to be able to like quickly turn like the premonition of like so like Chloro might have wanted to know what like the like since like Chloro might have been already aware that Hisoka is the price of Chloro might have specifically wanted to know what like the premonition of Hisoka will be. So like and then the perfect Chloro might have expected like maybe might have also expected like Hisoka to like change Hisoka's like for premonition to like something else. But like even then, the perfect Chloro might have totally been betting on basically regardless of what you thought I would be changing it Hikora's formulation into like possibly having like a clue to like the incoming dangers of head for like Chloro and like the kind of group. It's definitely my commentary on it. So like I'm the that's the reason for like Chloro even still after like fully figuring out about like Sudoka being like the traitor and according to my commentary even after like Chloro even attempting like that, just like harmonious creations with Hisoka as well. Like, even after that, basically, Chrollo even still deciding to like keep Hisoka alive still in like the fandom group as like a member of the fandom group would be precisely to that Chrollo wanting to like precisely make this next move, and that will be precisely to like precisely actually like by stealing like Pathanodas like then ability for Chrollo to like precisely read Hisoka's like memories and basically that way realize the truth, not just like the truth about like what has been like happening like or the dark times after like Hisoka making it to like the after Hisoka even showing up to like York City, but also like the ability for like Flora would be surprised to find out like what exactly is Hisoka planning as for like the incoming since Hisoka's like the traitor like Flora might be don't expecting Hisoka to like totally be planning some sort of an ultimate attack against like the Phantom Troop, interfere with the Phantom Troop. So like what exactly is Hisoka planning to like the kind of strategy or like the kind of attack that Hisoka is totally planning against like the Phantom Troop to perfectly find this out. So she like the reason for like Flora deciding to like kill Hisoka in like the Phantom Troop as like the Phantom Troop member. Especially even after realizing his work like the traitor technique, Michael's theory and prediction. And maybe like about the think there might be also possibly maybe there was this thing where like Pathinoda might not be like okay with like basically even though Floro is like the boss and the leader of the fan group. Like I'm going to bring even Pathinoda might not allow Floro to like so actually steal away Pathinoda's like and then ability like memory reading and ability. So like precisely Flora might have been patiently waiting for like the perfect opportunity to like stealthily steal Parthenoda like an ability and make it its own. And for then Flora might be planning on then simply secretly somehow hiding Parthenoda and like make it appear as if like Parthenoda might have gone somewhere. And then for Flora to like say casually and like that two steps for Flora to like just have make uh just touch Kutoka and basically right away figure out the actual truth behind that's like going on in like the sort of mind as to like what's like the exact strategy of like the ultimate attack that is sort of planning towards like Floro and like the fan so Troy like Floro and like the fan of it. Just to be my person to range. So this might be like Floro like what the Floro would be currently attempting for. So certainly my person to range and my person to range is also that like just like Kurapika, Bond, Leorio, and Silva. They're planning on like abducting Sotesli Patanoda and also pretending like they are for attempt to like actually succeed. Like definitely actually succeed and then succeeding in like abducting Patanoda. But like the scenario that I'm also predicting is that like it will be only after like them succeeding in that abducting Patanoda that like I'm going to bring they might even realize that basically Patanoda doesn't possess like memory reading and ability anymore. So like I'm preparing at that point for like the major reveal to happen. The twist and like the major reveal to happen at that point that basically Flora had already stolen like the innate ability of Patanoda. It's definitely my personal theory and prediction. So by then. So like I'm interpreting that firstly Gon and let's say team of Gon Killua and Sorapika and all of them might actually find by the time they would be making it to like the fandom proof case, like they might actually find Pakanoda somewhere hidden like all by herself. It's definitely my person theory and that's as prediction. And that would be especially due to like Flora having already stolen like Pakanoda's like Nen ability. Flora might have like attacked or like silenced Pakanoda somehow even the Packard might still be alive, like he might be badly exhausted or like injured and would be like lying to them somewhere in like the base of the phantom troop. And basically that Flora might have already stolen that Packard ability already by then. So like I'm considering by Gon into the team of like Rapid and Gon and all of them would be like successfully finding Packard and on finding Packard they would be overjoyed and thinking that like finally they have achieve their goal and would be like taking a Pasanoda in, and away from like that area in the car like right then it was only at that point that I was looking for them to like realize that basically they hadn't achieved anything that they really Pasanoda net everything have been stolen. So like I was looking at that point for all of us to be totally confused while Chloro right then to be revealing to be like shown as like having the like ultimate villain of mind. With like him having possessed like the stolen and suffering like the Bachelor of abilities, like the that creative scenario that I'm definitely putting in the presentation.